Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back with another one. Back with another one. Oh man. Oh man. Back with it. We're talking about political world systems, and we're gonna talk about. I'm watching this stream, and this older stream, and we're gonna get into. Hold on for a minute. Let me get set. Let me get set up. Let me get set up for real quick. And voila. Yeah, this is back last year. It's about like months ago. It's like December 15th, 2021. So I was talking about the introduction of totalitarianism. Then I was talking about socialism, all the other stuff. And now I was talking about all the other systems combined into one. Problem with this one at the time, I was trying to look for any ideology at the time. And the reason I did a part two to this, because it ended up being a long, like a 9-hour discussion, as y'all can tell. So basically, it's one of those topics that you got to get trained into and things like that. So it's not really a big of a deal when I did it at the time, because if one, we was going to do part three and things like that nature. So the whole purpose of me doing this is to explain what the topic was, and we was going to get into it with the discussion. So I think showing this part, and then I'm going to skim through and do the discussions, because I'm going to let y'all listen to it, because this is something like a replay, and I'm just here to reference what's going on with this part. Well, political world systems, when we talk about the actual political world system, let me pull it up on the side. I'm going to give y'all the gist what's going on. Let's see for a minute. I'm going to find libertarian. Political philosophies. That's what I was talking about, but that's why I titled the playlist Political Systems 2. This is Political Systems 3, I believe. Yeah, Political World Systems playlist. Hey, Leticia, what's going on? What's going on? And let's see right here. And then we talk about the introduction, the fundamental questions of government, talk about ethics, and then there's your ancient political philosophies, of course, St. Augustine, Aristotle. I was getting into that. Ancient India, Machiavelli, talk about, all this stem from. And then we talk about the Renaissance periods of Machiavelli. I talked about a little bit of pragmatic, consequentialist views of politics, what you got today with Thomas Hobbes. Contractitarianism, I did a couple of series of those, and then contractualism, and did 2 of those. Then I did totalitarianism like 3 times. So basically, you have a system of ideologies that's bound to see what's up. So then we talk about modern political philosophies like Age of Enlightenment, of course, Voltaire, libertarianism, Rousseau, contractitarianist, Enlightenment. Talk about capitalism, utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is a big one with John Stuart Mill. That's the Victorian period. Birthed a lot of ideologies, and then capitalism is separate. That's after. You got Karl Marx, and we was talking about socialism. We talked about Marxism in this one. We talked about communism. And the reason I did it twice on this, instead of just making separate series like I did the other ones, like totalitarianism, anarchism, and all the other stuff. See, conservatism and liberalism are basic, ideologies that we all know. That's basic. It's no need. They have their separate thing. But I wanted to cover the ones that people misuse in the so-called manosphere, the modern day manosphere. And what I do is I pick out Marxism, socialism, and communism in this, because it makes sense, because we give you the gist of the history or whatever. And the reason I don't talk about feminism, a lot of people, is everybody's got different perspectives. I don't touch on it as much. I rather have a fair conversation on that. I have done a lot of research on it, and I'm learning about what is factually and what's factually true, how it's used. Because to me, man actually created feminism, but then you got women co-signing the ideology. So that's going to be a separate topic in the near future. I don't know if I'm going to touch that. I could touch that in its basic form, and we're going to see what that is. But I don't know about that topic, because I know people misuse it a lot. I won't be simple with that, because that one I ain't gonna try to go in depth. It's no need, because you got a lot of people cover that lately. The reason I don't do that one is just like I did with socialism and Marxism. It's self-explanatory, and communism, because that can go into a whole can of worms. And I can also put in utilitarianism connection to that as well. It's just simple. It's no need, because everybody's got different versions of how they look at it. I ain't gonna start an argument because people don't understand that feminism is just a man-made system ideology that was created, even though women subscribe some of the ideology. And this is why you got a lot of them are brainwashed in some areas. But I don't blame feminism for everything. I'm gonna tell you this, it's mostly our fault because we have to take accountability allowing that shit to happen. So that's up to the men. So that's a separate discussion I can have on its basic. I'm going to be basic with that one. Then we talk about egalitarianism. I talked about that as well. That's on the separate thing inside the political world systems playlist. Then I talk about communitarianism again. So I talk about a lot of these doctrines. So yeah, anarchism was big because I want to do a series of that in this playlist. And I'm telling you, when I did this, I said, you know what, let me do this as actual content. So this is something you could talk about, because you got a lot of dudes misuse certain ideologies, and I do proper research. I show you certain sources, and it's just what it is. So you see everybody's in the chat, and that explains what's going on. So that's a whole thesis of it. So me explaining what's going on at this conversation, it gets better and better as always. So let me play this, and I'm going to go on mute. Subservient to the state. Yeah, that's totalitarian. We're going to talk about this in a minute. Totalitarian regimes, man. It's a must look, and we'll get into it. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, in so many words, we're just going to lay it down the foundation. So, you know, he's all hail, hoorah. What's going on? Great regime. And so we're going to talk about that. We just talked about what's that one we talked about? We talked about nationalism, and we also talked about socialism. Most of these dudes don't even know what proper socialism is, but you know, we'll cover that. It's no need really, because people don't understand. I just read it all. I just put the links in the chat. But yeah, man, like I said, man, it's one of those things, those discussions that we talked about, and I believe, you know, this one right here is a must talked about, and we're going to talk about that in the future, about totalitarian regimes. I think they're more important than ever. Once you talk about them enough, I think we're going to get in to promise what we were talking about. So I'm getting some real content with y'all. But fascism will be next week, and we'll go in depth like we talked about in those series. So yeah, this is one of the things he said. He said, yeah, the cleverly omit oblivion slavery and Jim Crow as totalitarian. Exactly. I agree. I agree. I agree. Yeah. So in so many words, you have that, and you don't worry about anything else. But that's how you get totalitarian on your shoulders. So when we discuss this philosophy right here, like it's what I've seen. When I researched, I saw Putin, I saw that boy in North Korea and things like that. Yes, slavery. We mentioned slavery in here. We talked about nationalism. All that's connected to what I'm saying. I'm gonna make a series out, but fascism is a unique one I want to talk about, because that's what affects this country. You got a lot of fascists running around, but America doesn't want to be in that position. We don't have nobody like that, but you know, their systems is copied. It's inevitable. Some people got to fight it and do different things, and you know, and we talk about that a lot. Yeah, fascism is a big deal. I know people's don't want to talk about that subject, but that one needs to be talked about. But anarchism that's a separate stream. I'm going to push that one back probably next month. I will talk about totalitarianism, do part 1 and 2, that one. And I might talk about that next year. I don't know how that's going to play out. I might do a series on that. Be on the lookout for that. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe the Monday streams, like independent thinker, that's just one of the thinkers, being a content creator, just being yourself. So in so many words, being totalitarian is another thing. But like it says, what I've read, man, a little authoritarian states, they're very similar. They talk about the dynasties, they talk about the Greeks and Sparta and Plato. Talks about Niccolo Machiavelli was the prince going against the ruler in Italy at the time of the Renaissance period. So a lot of things you can search for yourself, but I'm just doing the philosophy aspects of it. And I can always go back to these streams to back up what I'm saying. And I got the links for y'all. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the things about totalitarianism that we talk about. Yeah. So in so many words, we know what time it is. I'm not worried about what's going on, but yeah, but when we talk about it enough, it has to be said. It has to be said in so many words. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, when we talk about it, it's crazy. So when we talk about it enough, I think we don't expound on what they mean by it, right? And we just don't know what it means. So in so many words, I'm just not tripping off what people say, and then I've read and things like that. So you just got what you got. Oh, excuse me. Needed that. So when you have that, it's so refreshing that people talk about it, but they don't talk about it enough in these spaces. Like, yeah, you got regimes and regime change and things like that, but you know, they talk about a lot of stuff. But these dudes in the 2.0 sector, they're kind of silly at this point. And that's just what it is. Let's see really what he says. Oh, he's talking. Okay, cool, cool, cool. But yeah, I'm not just saying this stuff to be saying it, but yeah, we talked about socialism, different variations of it, and that's just how it's going to be in so many words. But that's what you have, and you just get in the starting of the mode, right? That's just one thing that people just don't understand in so many words, but I get it. But yeah, once you have totalitarianism, man, like you really have enough people just going into it, and that's just part of it. You know, so many. That's how you get into it. So, and that's just my thing, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, and that's just how you want in so many words. But what I was saying in early in the stream, man. I mean, I went to I think I went to that Atlanta, what's that Atlanta that it was in Atlanta, but the Civil Rights Center, and they talked about those guys that you see, that's the dictators. They didn't put Putin up there. They put them other guys in there and Trump in there. That's what people thought at the time. I said, and I was trying to tell my dad, they put Papa Doc, they put the son Junior, and they showed them where they were. Then I wish I would have showed y'all those pictures that they had, which one's in the red and the US was in the gold. That's free. Silly, right? I could have took those pictures and posted up for y'all on YouTube, right? On YouTube. I would have posted that shit, right? And I mean, it's ridiculous to see that, but it's the truth, man. It's the truth. And I think a lot of people need to know that shit. And they just like, they gloss over that fact that things happen. And that's just what it is. In so many words, you just like look at it like, okay, this is gonna be good. And of course, we got embrace of being independent thinker number 5. We're gonna do that, and we're also gonna have fascism. We're gonna talk about that as well.
If you got a couple of thousands of dollars to give to somebody that works within the jail cell or in the government that's gonna, speed up your process so you can get your trial date in a timely manner. But
Right,
that's another
right.
case. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
another yeah.
But what I'm saying is that it's like, yes, America have its problems. The United States of America have its problems when it comes to racism, when it comes to classism, and all the other isms. But America's in better shape than a lot of these other countries out there. And I know that because my family's from the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And I know how messed up things are in that country. And the thing is that I don't want to try to derail the topic, but
No,
a lot
you
of
no, I ain't derailing. This is
a,
right on
a
topic
lot
with the totalitarians. Go ahead.
right. So due to the fact that there's a lot of things in America that is in way better shape than other countries, a lot of people who are American born don't understand the depths as to why immigrants from other countries look at American people and call them lazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Especially with the ADOS movement, when they say, "Oh, well, blacks from other countries," they say this, that, and the third about, about Black American stuff like that. And I constantly tell them, I'm like, yes, don't get me wrong. A lot of the criticisms that Black immigrants have towards Black Americans stem from a position of ignorance, but it also stems from a position that they understand what true poverty is, like true abject poverty, that they've seen it. And when they come here to America, it's like they look at American people as like spoiled children that don't know what they got or don't know how good they
Facts.
got it. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mhm.
So that's where a lot of the criticisms come from when it comes to Black immigrants. So their criticism is not stemmed from hatred, as the ADOS movement like to make it seem to be. But I'm done with that.
Yeah, we talked about that over at Cats, but I'm glad I did this topic tonight because I was going to expound on the ideologies and then the totalitarian in countries, man. Like, yeah, people don't know. Like, and I'm glad she brought that up because I was going to do a stream about this because it explained how they look at us. And then I try to, well, I ain't one of these ignorant Americans that don't think like that. Because if you talk enough of them that come here, in America, you learn a lot about their culture more than anybody else. And it's good to get the word. If you ever travel, you know what to expect. So you gotta know your stuff, even the languages and stuff. And tell people all the time when you travel, know the culture first and then actually talk to the people first too. That has try to know your language, and then if you know theirs, then there's a give and take in exchange. Some people just abuse that, and when these dudes travel, we call them trims. What you call it, FYI, SYSPM dudes, the passport dudes, man, they don't even understand what they're getting into. Like when they get caught up in these jails and stuff, the stories I done read about, I'm like, man, y'all need to just chill. But I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. People want to experience the culture. Some of them just forget about it. So no, I just want the women. I said, don't you want to learn the culture first? It's like shit.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's more to traveling than just females. You
Yeah.
got to know the culture. Like you say, you have to understand the culture, know the language, be able to blend it in. Because when you go into other countries, you're a guest in their house.
Facts.
You're a guest in their house. So when you are a guest in their house, you have to understand and respect and abide by their rules. And one of the ways to do it is to understand the culture and know how to blend in. And when you do that, you become more accepted by the people. And when you're more accepted by the people, you make closer friends. And when you do that, then they'll come and say, well, hey, this is my cousin. She's single. She's 26 years old and looking for a good guy like you. You know what I'm saying? But to
Yeah.
sit, but to sit there and say, hey, I'm gonna go to other countries. I'm just looking for other females. I'm like, don't you want to experience more things in other countries? I'm not, I'm not saying to not meet females over there, but there's more to travel than just females, man.
Yeah. It usually is. I mean, these people, they just get lopsided with that and just go crazy. But and that's why I've noticed in these spaces, I was like, man, y'all ain't saying nothing about no languages, how the people are, not just personalities in particular, or how the economy is it livable? It's just detailed stuff. Most people when you try, they detailed everything, even with DeAndre about Japan. Now, thank goodness he talked about Japan. It's kind of like similar to America. It's not totalitarian. It's not, they have their own rules and things like that. Now, the patriarch is just, oh my God, when he told BGS's ass up on that panel over at our new style, woo, they was talking about that over there, and they had no idea. And they didn't realize it was DeAndre, that he was just messing with them. And Edward was on the panel. I said, see, these dudes didn't know anything. I kind of was in the chat, and I didn't want to say nothing. And I said, Dre got it. He got him right where they wanted to be. Just had to backtrack what he said. He said, damn, yeah, man.
Yeah, you can't. It's like you can't debate a person that lives in Japan about Japan, especially if you don't live in Japan yourself.
Right.
Yeah. But but I want to speak about something else concerning politics.
Okay.
I know the topic of this video is on political systems, but
right.
What I want to speak about is, did you hear what went on in New York this past week?
No, I haven't. What was it about?
In New York City, right? The New York City Council, which is like basically a local Congress, they agreed to a law, or they approved a bill that would allow non-citizens to vote on the local level. So immigrants who are not citizens have the right to vote in New York City, but only on a local level. They can't vote on a state or federal level. They could only vote for like local elections, like for mayor. In New York City, we have something called like public advocates or local council members, stuff like that. Borough presidents. We have something called borough presidents too, where underneath the mayor, each borough of New York City have their own president. It's like basically a mayor of a borough, but they're underneath the mayor of New York City.
Right.
So it is, so non-citizens can vote for that. Yeah. So and when when you look at the bill, right? Let me see if I could show you. Okay, when I looked at the bill, because I read the bill or parts of it, right? It's funny because a large portion of the New York City Council members that approved the bill were Hispanic. I look at their last names, they're Hispanic. They were Hispanic local councilmen and women who helped approve the bill. And when you take a deep look, you understand that this was something done to benefit Hispanics. Because although you have immigrants from all over the world, right? You have immigrants from all over the world, but Hispanics or Latino immigrants or Hispanic, whatever you want to call it, they make up an extremely large group of immigrants in New York City. And yeah, and I'm just like, okay, you want to make it a way where now people who are not citizens can vote? I'm like, I'm not. I don't like that, man. I believe that certain things in America should be exclusively given to U.S. citizens, and one of these things is the right to vote. So what happens now is that a few people from the GOP side, because this was mostly people from the left, people or Democrats, right, that approved this bill. So what you have is that you have what's going to happen is that Republicans in New York City, they're going to take this to the state Supreme Court. So, and they're going to take this to the state Supreme Court and let the state Supreme Court have the final say on whether this bill should be approved or be overturned. Yeah.
I mean, that's important to talk about. I mean, what I saw in New York, what you just talking about, yeah, I'm not surprised by that. And it may not be relative to the topic, but I think I discussed that last week. I said something similar to that, about systems like that. And when people always try to say, "Oh, that's social," well, it could be. It's a mix of that. It's a combination of a lot of things. That's what's wrong with America. You don't know which system it is. But when I talk about fascism last week, it's a little bit of it. It's corporate, but like when we talk about local laws, that ain't gonna affect unless black people should vote locally instead of state and federal, because that's tricky with the Senate and the presidency. That's a whole nother thesis. But yeah, man, yeah, New York, it is what it is. Like you look at your population, that's who's voting. I mean, it's like that down here in Georgia in certain parts. In those little red I was explaining the history of politics and probably GA how it goes down here. And in this discussion, I think Wacky was talking about what was going on in New York at the time, and he was saying this like, last year, and he said here about the voting and stuff like that's still relative going on where his area is, and a lot of people up there, and y'all know what's going on. And we got election down here in GA as well with Abrams and Kemp. That's going to be very interesting, and you're going to see a difference in policy changes. And I mean, they just recently in the neighborhood they had like trash inspections, right? And some people have trash besides the house in the neighborhood, like homeowners association. They said they want the trash cans behind the fence or some shit down here. I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? I was looking at that shit. I was like, oh shit, they expecting, but that's a common thing now. They do an inspection and all that other shit. Bunch of crazy shit, but it is what it is. And that I think people, it's like, a lot of it's political and things like that. I saw the political signs and people are still running on that narrative that you see this a lot. What's going on in the world, and especially, people's gonna be outside way more. Probably gonna be way more in the fall. It's gonna heat up. It's gonna heat up in the summer because it's gonna be a lot of tensions, and crime is about to go up real soon. So y'all just got to be easy out here, and hey man, because everybody's been cooped up like 2 years, and tensions are gonna fly. Because after that, and then next year, it's gonna really see where people's at right now. The first year, but then the next year is the election year for presidency. I don't know who's gonna be president in 2024, because I know most people say Biden is gonna run. He's not gonna run again. Trust me, he's not. He didn't care for this shit. And he's telling you right now, this war that's going on in Ukraine and Russia, that's the measuring stick how he's going to stay longer, or is he going to leave? To me, he's going to leave. He already did the sanctions. I think this thing will come out good, because then when I saw the election in France, I told y'all this past week on Sunday Madness, I was saying, if you look at that French election, to me, it's over for the opposition like Russia, and anybody that's pro Russia, you're done. Because Macron, what I saw in that election, they want Le Pen winning because number one, she's bad for business for the country, and the country turned against her. So as it shows you, I've been right since last year. When you talk about politics and things and movements, you're going to see different things coming on. So when you're talking about it and extensively, you got to understand something. Le Pen was trying to undermine what France was, but then when I saw it on France 24 a lot, and all the campaigns, people taking down stuff, and I was looking at that, okay, this is political, and it's the same concept. And I think this country is going the way they're going, and I know 2024 is where it is, so it's not that much to say anymore. I would say like 2024 is gonna be very, very interesting. I said this last year, and y'all just better get ready. Things is gonna change, and especially this year in GA. If y'all live in GA, Abrams and Kemp will be something. So if y'all want to participate or support whatever, because what I saw in that French election, it was telling that Macron, they wanted him. They were skeptical of him in the beginning, and he's doing his thing. Now he's in some type of parliament election. He'll win that. That's just gonna let you know France is gonna be the same, and they want old boy out of there. That's why I can tell from Putin. So, I'm gonna play the rest of this. Probably stop it midway. I'm gonna skip some of the parts and see how the discussion. I'll explain that, and then I'll probably I don't know if I want to open it up tonight. I'll think about it. I ain't gonna make no promises, but I ain't gonna think about it. I'll think about it. Y'all bear with me. So, as what I was saying, this is the type of discussions that we had last year, and this is part 2 of what's going on. So when you talk about things like these, this video is very telling. So we're going to go into part 2, what we was talking about. We stayed on topic, and he wanted to get off topic. And shouts out to the legendary Wacky Word. Now I understand, but to me, I don't think he was off topic. I think he was very relative what he was saying at this time, and I think this is necessary because what we're saying right now is everything I said last year. Things going to be a little bit different and tricky because Putin's going to do some dumb shit. And I talked about totalitarianism. I talk about people's tired of that shit and fascism and all this shit. And I'm glad I talked about anarchism because that's what kicked off this series too. And that's just sped it up even more. So we here now. And like I said, I'm going to play the rest of this. So y'all be ready. Counties. But they're going to have a hard time. I don't know who they're going to vote for in the future because they don't like the government we got now. So, it's all next year. All next year. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that's just going back to what I was saying about New York. I posted the link to the actual law.
Mm-hmm.
The actual law, which have been approved earlier this week. And it's chapter is considered chapter 46 of the New York City chapter. No, section 46A of the New York City chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, but
I'm looking at it. Yeah,
but so what was I saying? Yeah, okay. So what happens is that a lot of like I said before, that the intentions of this law was to help a lot of Latino immigrants, right? But now you have a lot of local New York politicians who's sitting back and wondering what's going to happen to the so-called black vote in New York City. Will the black vote be as strong in New York City now, being that non-citizens have the right to vote for local representatives? But ultimately, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, ultimately, on another end, this is why I say political power is important. Because, like I said, if you look at on the top, if you're looking at it right now, you look on the top section and look at the names of the council members that approved this bill. Look at their last names. A lot of them are Latino.
Yeah,
they got the Hispanic last name. So what they've done is that they got into the local level of the New York City politics and came together and did something that will benefit their people, which I'm not mad at. That's what you're supposed to do when it comes to having political power. You're supposed to come together, organize together, put yourself in a position of power and do things that will benefit your people, right? Now, my thing is, I've been telling the so-called black manosphere that they should do that. Organize together and put themselves in a position of political power so they could pass policies that will benefit them. And when I tell them that, I get a whole lot of pushback.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, that's usually what it is. I mean, you get that pushback, and I see the names like it says Rodriguez. Like, whoa, okay. But I'm not surprised. I see that down here too in certain areas. Like I've read something like that. Yeah, this is actually it is a political trend. I mean, people have been saying it for years. I'm not surprised. I mean, this is what happens when we get so behind in politics. If you're not joining a specific party, and I know me and Mike talked about that Green Party stuff. If they're the next emergent in the future, that's the future. But the problem with that is, I think Sarun said this, a lot of people don't want that. I don't want to say anarchist ways of dismantling that energy, anything energy or green. I mentioned this earlier in the stream. It's relative. That stuff, it just turns their stomach. The people that's up top, they don't like that. They rather want everything to be the same. And most people want those changes, but they're desperate, because this country's going a different direction. See, Trump, what he wanted was straight up fascism, and a lot of people didn't see that. It was just corporate. And what I saw was America does a little bit of it, but I won't be surprised they're gonna run that same narrative. But what's hurting them is, Republicans, they want that old way. A lot of people's tired of it, man.
They want that old way. And like it's funny because I was doing some research once. I heard about this news, what went on in New York. Now, there's 11 other local municipalities in the United States that allow non-citizens to vote also in local politics. They have them in Massachusetts. I think Boston's one of them, but they have them in Maryland and other parts of the country. So, excuse me. And not only that, but before World War I, there were 40 states across the United States that allowed non-citizens to vote. And not only that, before that, during the beginning of America, until I forgot what year, but during the beginning of America, non-citizens of America was able to vote all up across America until there was an amendment that was put there, giving U.S. citizens only the right to vote. But now, going back to what I was saying, I said that there's politicians in New York City that want to take this to the New York State Supreme Court to fight this new bill that has been approved. Now, the people who's fighting again, who wants to take this to the Supreme Court, are saying that the New York State Constitution only allows citizens to vote. But I read the New York State Constitution, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what it says concerning people in New York voting, it just states that all citizens have the right to vote in New York State, but it never specifically says that citizens are the only ones that have the right to vote. So it's going to get interesting if they take it to the Supreme Court, because now because now it's going to deal with interpretations of the law, which that always come down to in a lot of court cases, especially a Supreme Court case. It comes down to interpretation of law, and are there any prior cases that goes in line with your interpretation, shit like that,
Yeah. She said they are trying to pass it in Chicago. Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh wow.
This is not just New York. That's one of these big states in these cities, man. Like, I already know about LA. LA is just
LA. Yeah.
That's just it's a wash right now. But
but because in Chicago, just like New York and LA, have a very large Latino population also.
Yeah.
But this is the thing though. And New York is a blue city. Chicago's a blue city. Now, if this passes in Chicago, this is what I predict. I predict that because New York is like one of those places where once a law get passed in New York, other places emulate that same law also. New York and Chicago. New York State and California. They're like those two where once a law becomes legal in any of these two states, the rest of the country follows suit. So, what I see, because New York is the largest city in America it is the largest city in America, but it's also the largest city that allows non-citizens to vote now. So if other cities start to ramp up and start to create laws allowing the same thing, that's going to cause the Democratic Party to shoot themselves in the foot, because what that's going to do that's going to give the Republicans an edge by saying, hey, look, people, look, American people, your Democrats is taking away your rights and giving them to immigrants. And
Yeah.
and you know how, listen, sir, you know how a lot of white boys are in America.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like this shit. They don't like just the thought of non-citizens having the right to vote for a politician. So just imagine if more and more cities start to adopt the bill that New York State just approved, what's going to happen with the American people? You're going to have a large portion of American people wants to go back to this Trump state of mind.
Yeah.
So that's actually I'm actually predicting that if more cities do this, it's just going to give it's going to give more credibility to the right, and the right is going to use that against the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party will be in deep shit. That's my prediction.
Yeah, that's a fair prediction, and well, actually, it can help them. But here's the thing: they got to get ready for their trope. See, Democrats are slick. Republicans, they're split because of Trump. They can use that, what you just said, Wacker, right there. Yeah, that's evidence. But you know what's going to happen? It's going to get swept under the rug because a lot of them hypocritical Republicans will co-sign it down here in Atlanta. You know, when it comes to tech and stuff, and they see what New York does. They follow their patterns instead of LA. If I see them co-signing it and the hypocrisy of them, because a lot of Republicans are liberal. You got to understand, most of them ain't conservative. The conservatives you're talking about, yeah, they'll say that and tell people, hey, they're taking your rights and everything else. Yeah, but here's the hypocrisy. Here's the corporate fools in Wall Street. If I see a flip-flop in behavior on both parties, they're both done. Even though the Democrats, they're done too, because people want the Green to step in because of that energy. But the problem with the Green Party is they're going to have what the Libertarians did. And thanks to Mike B for saying this, he said Jorgensen kind of stopped Trump for some of them votes, 5%, because at one time I was watching the election, it was like she had like 1 to 2% at the time, but then during the election, when remember they had those long counts, those recounts and all that, that kind of deterred him not be president. He knew he was going to lose, and they realized he was going to lose. And shouts out to the Supreme Elder, DJ, Mr. DJ Music, one of my mods in here. He said that, and he had a stream talked about it. He said, it ain't just Trump. You get rid of all these guys because they're a problem. But the problem is, like you said, Wacky Man, they always keep coming back. They're desperate. And then when they see stuff like this in New York helping the immigrants, well, you got to blame two things. It's not just black people. It's the derelict, the regular average white American and the elite Americans allow this shit to happen. They didn't care. And you know what's going to happen? It benefits us too, because if we do it right and work together, it can work. And then we can teach the immigrants, well, like that Hotep guy said, yeah, you can die here, but here's the thing. You got to learn how to survive, dummy. I wish I would have told him on the back. You got to learn how to survive in these states. The United States, yes, you can die, but the trick is what they taught me growing up. Motherfucker, you got to learn how to survive. You're on your own. It's deep when you go overseas. They teach you the same common sense stuff, but America, we so spoiled. When the stuff gets taken away, how you gonna survive when you have a lot of arms and stuff? I'm just saying. But go ahead, Wacky.
Let me say this. Okay, going back to where you said there's a lot of hypocritical Republicans that's going to help approve bills like this in other parts of the country. Yeah, maybe so. I'm not disagreeing with that. Of course, there's a lot of hypocritical Republicans, just as much as there are a lot of hypocritical Democrats. But what I'm trying to say is that, yes, even though there's a lot of hypocritical Republicans, but of course, we all know that they want to get back in power.
Facts.
Yeah. Like the Republicans want to get back in power as far as not only in the presidential seat, but also in the congressional seats in Congress, being that they're the minority of both parts of Congress, so the Republicans would do anything it takes for them to get back in power. So they're going to utilize bills like the bill that the New York City Congress approved of against the Democrats and convince the American people that the Democrats is just giving a lot of power to the immigrants. I mean, this was, if you really want to break it down, this was the basis behind Trump's campaign in 2016. Talking, telling the American people, especially the Caucasians, how all the power is given, supposedly given to the immigrants. All the power supposedly given to the immigrants, and that sparked up a lot of a lot of things within Caucasians in America. So what I'm saying is that bills like this, if more and more cities start to adopt a similar bill, it might or it can revive that type of anger within a lot of people in America, because a lot of people in America just it's certain things that a lot of American people don't really like, especially when it comes to, American people do not like the feeling of immigrants having the same or more rights as them. Now, I'm not saying that immigrants do have more rights than American citizens. I'm not saying immigrants have the same amount of rights, but a lot of people in America, especially a lot of white Americans, they believe inside their minds, they already believe this, that immigrants have more rights than they do. They believe that. I'm not saying it's true, but this is what a lot of American people, especially a lot of white Americans, believe in the back of their minds, that immigrants are being given more and more rights in America while their rights is being taken away. Now, what do you think? How you think they will feel? Like Simply Neek said in the comment section, perception's reality. What's up, Callie Jane? What's up, Simply Neek, and all y'all?
Greetings, Scotty Jane.
How do you? So going back to what I'm saying, being that a lot of white Americans think this way, how do you think they're going to feel if they see more and more cities in America giving immigrants the right to vote? Shit, it's going to get ugly.
Oh yeah, super ugly. I mean, correct what you're just saying. Like, see, I'm glad you said that, because both sides is hypocritical, and it's kind of like we agree on the same thing. But you're right, because it does trigger the poor class whites. I know they're your original derelicts. Shouts out to Cerulean for that catchphrase. But them people, man, they do not like that. I see it all the time down here. Oh yeah, they can't stand them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, in Georgia, yeah.
It's all day.
Even up here in New York. Oh yeah, up here in New York, yeah.
Of course,
even though we're known as like the melting pot city, which is true, but you have a lot of American-born people who are sick and tired. Go to like the outer boroughs of New York City, like Long Island.
You told me.
You'll see how they feel.
Oh yeah.
But like Callie Jane made a comment earlier. That's fine. If you don't mind highlighting on one of her comments. No, not Callie Jane, I'm sorry, Simply Neek. They have the same.
I know all that. The shields. Yeah,
they got the same. Now, when she
said all these pale folk up north are going to be in, exactly, I agree with that.
That's enraged. Oh yeah. But there's a comment she made earlier. She said, "Get side boob to say it, and the men will fall in line."
Right.
Go up. Yeah. He said, "Get side boob to say it, and the men will fall in line."
Right.
True and funny at the same time.
Yeah.
That
is funny. Yeah, I'm gonna put that. Hold on.
She said that in reference towards me speaking about how many times I tell people within the Black manosphere to be politically organized, right? So in response, Simply Neek said, "Get some side boob to say, and they'll fall in line." Hell yeah, yeah. Get some hot looking females, to say that, and they'll fall in line.
Yeah, I mean, it's reference what she's saying, even though she's from New York too. But she mentioned that in the chat. But those shields. Yeah, that's the Black Order days. That's the crew that Cerulean and all those people came, and I believe Dre and Charles Faulkner out of that crew.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was
Black.
no Grinch. It was no Grinch at the time. He was just a troll. You know, Shasta
Right.
was saying that before the Massacre of Mercer. This is Black Order. This is Angry Man, and that whole crusade. All that's a part of one big thing. Till it failed. You know, this is why they call him Mal Mannerman and all that stuff. But that's a whole nother
Yeah.
subject matter. But
Yeah. I remember that. I remember the Black Order days. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. But like, yeah, upstate New York is mostly red, like Simply Meek said.
yeah,
Upstate New York is mostly red.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. He got to go on mute. But yeah, it's mostly red, like he said, man. But you know, they enrage. What she said, enrage and correct. Yeah, yeah, I agree. But yeah, man. I mean that's not new. Like we've been saying that for the longest, and people need to understand that. You know, we're like 2 hours in, and you know, Wacky was talking. Who else is talking? Oh, okay, Wacky had a dip. Let's see, who is this right here? Oh, Kuda's up here. Yeah. Well, the conversation's gonna change, y'all. We'll see. I was about to cop off, and I think, yeah, Wacky was doing this. Let's see this part right here. Yeah. I'm going to go on mute for a second. Be right back. Stories and seen pictures, yeah, I'm not surprised. And then when I saw this recent stuff on video games and stuff, and they talk about how the North was back in the day, man, you know, 18th century, yeah, there's some truth to behind that. I'm not going front.
Yeah. 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 But so with Yahoo, I can't stay for long, because I got some stuff I have to do.
Okay, I appreciate you for coming, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you for you inviting me on here. You know what I'm saying? So, keep doing. You can hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, keep doing your thing, man. I see that you getting your views is going up. So keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I am. I try to do topics like these on Wednesdays and stuff like that. Try to keep it what my content's about on this channel, but the open discussion, that's various topics. So, yeah, I appreciate you, man.
No doubt. No doubt. Same here. Same here. Have a great night. Be safe.
All right, you too. Shalom.
All right, shalom.
But yeah, folks, we talked a little bit about it. It's just like the systems we talked about. Yeah, we talked a little bit of socialism. We talked about what else we talked about. We talked about nationalism. We just talked about national. What we just said about New York and up north, right? That's the whole discussion, and then the philosophy. We actually talked about the control of people, right? And then a little bit of totalitarianism of America. We in that territory because everybody wants a dictator sometimes, but it's crazy. We talked about Haiti, and it's very appropriate. The stuff he laid out, it's confirmed what DeAndre is saying. But we was over at Cass and we was trying to explain to her. I'm glad she had that string. Because it makes me think I'm not the only one. And I'm glad I was on that panel too, because that hotel too kind of messed it up, but the leech was on there trying to derail. But that's okay. They took L's today. They try to say they took W's. No, they took L's. We got them. And I sent her that information. And she tried to say we were wrong. I told her on the panel, and it's related to the subject. And what the Simply Neat said. Yeah, your hotel. Oh man. And she said the people are amazed to know where the slave plantations in New York. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I won't be surprised. And a lot of them go back to the days of the 18th century, man. And Simply Neat. Ooh, neat. Right. But I'm just saying, but I appreciate it, man. Like the knowledge I'm gaining, this is going to be a good thing. So for me, my content is going to go forward, but we're going to talk about this stuff. But the whole purpose of it is to get to know it. And I'm glad that we're doing this because I told her I wasn't up there for right or wrong. I was just trying to have a conversation and information I drop. And I drop the knowledge. I just fall back and say, hey, Kat, do your thing. And appreciate you. And I had to go somewhere else. But like I said before, I said it again. This stream is still going to be up. We talk about political systems part 2. We just talked about a lot of things, and it expounds on what we're talking about, right? And it's one of those streams that you get to know and the history and things like that. That's one of those things, man. Like I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm glad I'm doing topics like these because this gives me the foundation of what I'm doing. So, yeah, those history streams, which you see in dark history, that's shit that I've done in pre-records and years. A lot of stuff you done heard and things like that, and I'm glad I cover them. There's no need. It's not that much. Like that. That's conscious shit. You know what I'm saying? That's stuff that I've needed to learn. So, oh, speaking of the devil, what's going on?
Yo, you about to close down?
Nah, I got some time.
Okay, my bad. I kind of jumped in a little bit late. I was checking out Mace and moving around on on YouTube.
Right.
Long ago. Yo, my bad. I'm late as hell. I'm laughing at Triple Black's name. He changed his name to Simpin' Ken.
Yeah, he's a fool lately. He's been beaten up lately by Cerulean and Dre and the general with the Haiti top, and I'm glad Wacky beat him up too because he's Haitian himself. And it's funny, like he claims he's Haitian so bad, and I try to Triple. You never been. Oh, I remember this. Yeah, this is where Cerulean beat him up and everything. This is where I was talking about the days of content of last year. Oh, it's fun. And then Triple Black trying to get mad and try to jump Dre and all that didn't work. And it backfired. It backfired because he realized he couldn't get what he wanted. And then he was talking about he was over at Mace. So, I mean, we basically was in the topic from like, how many hours was it? Like, was it 2 hours and 36? We was already in topic, right? See, I can look at this and go back. And if y'all watch the beginning of that stream, and this is on the playlist too, you can find it. And it was on the hour in the start in the beginning. I talked about everything in context what we was doing. So it was like a build up. It's similar to what you saw in conservatism too. Little people got off topic a little bit, but it was in the realm of what people was talking about. So what I was saying in so many words, I think I use nationalism, the racial part, and I understand that people want to hear that. And I was observing what I saw in the stream. I got the screenshots that a certain individual shared my shit. And I'll tell you what the panel was. So it's nothing special, but it was like a little classic. It's a little classic. I would say it's one of the classics I've seen in part 2s that I've seen in a while. And I was looking at it like, because the discussion it lasted for some hours. The first one was 4 hours. It wasn't really much, but this one lasted long because it was late, and I'll never forget. And then it extended to like Thursday morning. So basically, you had your things in up par. So, because I know tomorrow's gonna be, we gotta talk about these clowns this week, because what's going on in the world. So yeah. We ain't tripping about anything. It's just like what we see here is what we get. And that's just basically what it. So I ain't got much info on certain things, so we know what's up. We know what's up. So it ain't really much, because we know it's not gonna be much tomorrow. So it's back to our usual. But I do have that screenshot of that stream. It was a classic. So it boils down to a certain individual shared, because I think y'all seen the screenshot before on several channels and things like that. And I broke down the epic classic. It's just the context of what I'm saying. So, I still got that old screenshot. I still got that. If y'all don't believe me, because that was at night, and I show you, and he was talking about the numbers and shit. I'll pull it up and explain that for a minute, because I might have to drop this down and whatnot, because hold on for a minute, but we got the context in. Okay. So we had certain individuals, if you see in the conversation and things like that. So yeah, political systems too. And you know, so I'll look at it like this. Okay, so how I should do this. Okay. I'll go right quick. Go to Google Drive for a minute. I'll show you what the gist I'm talking about. So we're gonna pull this up, and I'll take it. Okay, so we're gonna stop the share. We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back to its spaces. So what I'm about to do is I'm gonna big up. Okay, it's the very same stream on that December. Okay, we're gonna share it. We want to see what's going on here, and we're gonna share it. Okay, and that's at the time I was to the Grand Master, and Kuda was saying something about him, right? In the same stream. It's me doing my thing, and this is political systems, and I think I changed the avatar. Yeah, I went this, and that's like in the ending. So guess how many people was watching? I had a lot of people, 25 people watching, and then it went up. So that's why you see a lot of views. And shouts out to everybody that participated that night last year. And that was it. And of course, we had Gino. This is the time Gino was, we was schooling him and everything. And then Charles, of course, and there's Benny, of course, an old boy, and Dre, Dr. Doom himself, and the great Cerulean Great for the Great Regime. So it was epic. He kept saying, "Oh shit, that nigga was in the chat," because Charles shared the link and then he shared my shit. So it is what it is. But that's the context, what you see, all this right here, right? So I'm gonna stop the share and take it off the damn screen. So I got receipts, man. I got receipts. If y'all want to look at that, I'm gonna keep it up just for a minute. And that's just boils down to what I'm talking about. And people try to say that nigga ain't got a receipt on that. I'm like, man, I got receipts on everything. Like, come on, man. Let's get back to it. And this is Coda right here. And it breaks down. And so this is 9 hours. So I want to let y'all listen to the rest. But let's see what's going on here. He had the Derek Jackson avatar, so pay that in mind. I'll let y'all hear this. Into the island to claim your people, because you got to go there once if you're American born. And he's trying to say, and then Saru kept calling him a vacation. I started dying. I watched a restream of that. I said, Triple, come on, man. Why are you doing this to yourself? He told you, he said, I don't fuck with y'all. Yeah, I know he be trouble, but he said this to John, and John threw it right back at him. He said, I don't care. He said, I don't fuck with you. And he said that to the general, and they said, okay, like, and it was on that stream, and I watched every show. I said, Triple, come on, man.
Yeah, Triple be trolling, man.
Yeah, he be on that white slide, but I know he can't help himself. But that's my boy, though. I know, but I just let him do it, man. I was like, go ahead.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I've never, out of all of the clever names I've ever heard, I never thought about Simpin Ken.
Yeah,
that is funny as hell. I'm sorry. I just had to.
Yeah, man. Like after getting this dynamic mic that I got now, and the other one I got, I'm starting out with this Spifine, this 6558, and work my way up to XLR real soon.
Oh, okay. I don't think I know that. Maybe
it's a new one. It's a new one. It has that I know it has the the mute button and has a dial. It looks like a SM7B, but it's not. But it has the RGB light, and it's just a little test run. But I'll eventually get an XLR one. I already know what I want.
Okay.
And I saw some reviews, and I had that Razer, the new Razer they got, the Pro 2 that came out months ago. I got that one too. I'm gonna use that for my Sunday streams.
Okay.
And use my condensers as my pre-records, what I did with my premieres. I saw this online recorder.
If you use the condensers as the pre-records, you can always EQ it, add in like a noise gate or any artifacts that you have like in the background or something. You can always get rid of that. But I think you have your headphones in, so you should be able to hear it while you're shooting, and then you'll be surprised some of the stuff that you hear in your microphone while you're shooting. A lot of it don't make it. A lot of it don't make it on the recording production.
No, I don't. It don't. And I've noticed that. And I'm glad I had this pre-recorder. I did it. The last pre-records, those premieres I did on this little thing that I got, and you can do all that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna use some of my condensers I got, the ones laying around, and then the one condenser mic, that HyperX.
Bro, get a H6.
Yeah.
Or you can get one. Or you could get the they got the smaller ones that don't come with like the binaural headphones. The I think the HN or the H12 or something like that. They can run you can use it as an interface also.
Yeah, I seen those.
So like if you well, damn, that show got taken down. But the show that Fasting was on, you see what he was using?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that over at For the Record TV. Yeah, I saw that one, and then I saw that Zoom PK4, and I saw a review on that, and had all those microphones hooked up. And the guy was saying that compared to
the P4, because the H6 is like maybe upper 200, 300. So, but the P4 is like 200.
Yeah, but you know what I did with the yoke mount with the Quadcast on my I'm gonna use that as my panel mic from now on. Because I bought a stand, and I'm glad I got a stand for both of these, and that's the reason why I got that Pfeiffer. And I said, you know what, I need a stand, and it worked. It was the right stand for me.
The Quadcast ain't bad. You can it got the shock mount for like rumble and stuff like that, so you can hit the desk and stuff.
I finally put it on I finally put a yoke mount on it, man. Like you told me to get an arm, and I finally got one. So I'm learning how to be an actual content creator.
You gotta learn how to you gotta make sure that arm is secure and just trust it.
Yeah, it is. And I like it. It's a stand, but I'll eventually get a desk on real soon, because I'll eventually get a studio, someday of next year. I'm taking baby steps because I'm trying to get back to where I get to.
Yeah, you get one thing at a time. When I tell people to like build their studio, I don't tell them to get everything at once. You get one thing at a time. As a matter of fact, what I recommend basically is get one thing a month, one or two things.
That's what I've been doing with mics. Like, look, like August 3rd, that Quadcast was the first thing I got. Then I had the Siren Mini. Yeah, I had the typical nanos. I was testing the pre-record thing.
You can do mic reviews once you set up.
If I set up another channel, that's something I'm thinking about, because I keep looking at people's mic reviews and people that's coming in and things like that. Like, yeah, that's cool. And I'm glad I had some more mics, but the dynamic ones is a piece that I want, and eventually XLR, and I've seen those, and I see interfaces that I kind of like, and I say, you know what? This is going to be real for me, because this is something I'm thinking about next year.
Don't spend too much money, bro.
I'm not going to spend too much of it. Yeah. I'm not going to spend too much. I'm managing it. And I did right going the little bit of the USB route, but eventually I will go XLR, but I'm taking my time because I got to see what my content is first. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to go out there and go crazy like most people do. They'll be like, oh, I can have content. Yeah. That shit can get on your nerves. And I saw what Bandrew did how he got his money. He had like 4,600 to get all those dynamics. I was like, God damn. Bruh, I saw I said, man, that's crazy, man. Yeah. And I saw his recent Neumann.
Yeah, he did the U87.
That shit was wild, man.
Bro, people don't understand my pain, what I be going through. These dudes in space ain't looking at that shit.
They ain't looking at the big picture, but I'm taking my time to see. As a content creator,
I asked them to buy a U87.
No, it's just like, just get you a USB mic. I don't care if it's dynamic condenser, but take your time. Learn about what you call it, that mic etiquette, like and what you call it, in the presentation of it, and and all that stuff, and even I know we was talking about gear. Okay, let's get to this part. Let's skip this part right here. Yeah, here we go. Let's see what Dre's talking about. All right, we're gonna get to this part. This is when Dre came through, and I think I did. I switch my avatar. Hold on. Yeah, hold on for a minute. Yeah, I'll let y'all hear this, but before we play it, um, yeah, this is gonna get very interesting. Yeah, we talked about a little gear and everything else. So basically, we was on it, and it ended up being a long discussion. I know it's an hour, so I'll play some of this and I'll play half. I might play it and skim through, and then Saruna came through later. So this is gonna be very interesting. See. Oh, he came. Okay, he came in on the 3 hour. Okay. This should be good. I'll probably let y'all hear it all the way. Probably halfway. We'll see. Yeah, it was a classic. Hell yeah, because I showed that receipt. I said, yeah, it was. That was very classic. And that goes back to in December, and that was like months ago. That was be like, okay, so you got December, January, it's 2 in March. That's 5 months ago. It'll be 6 months ago in May. It's 5 months ago. 5 months ago, and that's how long it was. It's amazing. Time flies so fast. That's 5 months ago, but I'll let y'all have it.
Tag me in.
That's what I've been doing. Rashad been causing some damn trouble. These niggas done got me into some damn DeLorean shit. Got me watching the Queen of the Dossier. I've been corrupted, man. God damn, man.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, man, I can't be sitting, man, read in the fortress of pettitude with all of this knowledge by myself, man. I gotta disseminate this to everybody, man. Like, yo, it's Petty Simber, man.
Don't let the pettiness engulf you.
Nah, it don't engulf me. You know what it is? It helped me make better content, man. Like even doing this, I'm happy as hell. I've never been happy doing YouTube again, and after a 6-year hiatus,
that's why
man.
I tell people to
I said, God damn, man.
Find what you're passionate about, something that you can talk about for a long fucking time, and talk about it. You know
man. Like
I don't even know how to. Yo, I look at that clock. I don't even know how the hell I do it, bro.
I don't even know how the hell to do it either, man. Like even talking to Serena about hours about military history, and we sit back talk about other shit, real shit.
Yeah,
it's just like we fall asleep, and I be snoring on them joints too, and I be hearing myself. Say, God damn, and then I be like, well, I was like, God damn, I was like, hey.
Yeah, man. Yo, listen, man. Cool. See, Cootie, your shit is a little different, man. Like you got you got a whole.
Yo, I'll be up for the whole 8 hours too. That's a fucked up.
Yeah, but you be having like a whole segment, bro. Like for real, what it is, bro. It's like the old school radio stations that used to turn off. Like they used to just play shit. Like what I mean, they got the talk radio for like 8 hours during the day to get you through the day and shit.
Yeah.
So your shit is straight, man. Like you talk about all of the other shit, man. I'm just gonna tell you, man. Leave the fluttering fucking wine bucket niggas alone, bro. Just do your thing, bro. Just listen, bro. Look, man. Look. Did you see Cat's? Did you see Cat's stream?
I saw a little bit of it. She be over cursing people out.
Okay, but in between her cursing people out and having a brain aneurysm, right?
Yeah.
Sister George
y'all better not stress my baby out, man. If she gets a great,
we know you're a colorist, cool. Hold on, man. Hold on. Calm down. So we know. So check this out, right?
You give my baby a gray hair.
No, man, she good, man. She had the Hotep niggas over there, man.
We destroyed them, and we got off the panel. We got off the panel.
Proud though, y'all didn't know that. She told me.
Yeah. We know,
we and his thing. I told her like this. I ain't come here to. I ain't coming here to be right or wrong. I told her that, Dre. Remember, I told her that. I said, look, I brought my information up here in the back. Here's a back chat, and you know she read it off, and I respect
them Hotep
that.
niggas will argue with you for hours, bro.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
I let them argue with
I let
themselves,
them
bro.
do themselves. They stupid
You'll
like that.
spend
But see,
all
they go
night
me, man.
arguing
But
with Al Jahad Rashid.
but you know
Big
those names like
Rahman,
that.
the second
Those
license.
are like my names, and I destroy them every time. They like these feds wearing niggas in the MSTA, man. They hate me so bad because when I bring the facts on, I say, dude, you're just like these so-called ADOs. It's the same shit. Y'all call yourself Native American, and the white man don't respect you. You're a nigga.
They don't debate with them. That's why I told. That's why these dudes in the manosphere got mad at me. I'm like, okay, you think you know politics? Go up there to the 21 convention and talk to them niggas, and you'll see how much politics you know.
Yeah. Well, here was the funny part about it, right? While we was talking, Sister George came up there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, man.
Yeah,
So she was in the chat, right? And I ran down everything. Like I basically summed up the whole timeline, and I asked her, when you brought Ramil's channel, and she basically stated that she asked and begged Curlin M to buy the channel, right? Now, here's the funny part. Here's the funny part about that, right? She said it again, right? And they got together and made sure they negotiate. They had a team of people, right? Jessica X put in on it, and then Kat was like, yo, I want to invest too, right? I want to invest too. Now listen, right?
They figured out how big of a move it was.
No, but think about it like this. You can't even get these niggas to invest into a mic, Kuda.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I knew it was over.
So leave them niggas alone, bro. Like, and what I mean by that, and this is what I mean. This is what I mean, Kuda. This is what I mean. Is that Sister George and Concrete Rose, and they got their channel popping like a year and some change, right? You know what I mean? You set up thing with Jessica, but then when the shit blew up in the niggas' face, they tried to blame you for Jessica, even though these niggas was up there pumping our ass up every fucking day, right? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, right? So now remember, Sister George and them, she said where she came from, but really it was AM and them pumping her up.
Well, no, BGS for women and stuff like that. So but Sister George, she's battle tested. You know what I'm saying?
No. But I'm saying I'm talking support wise. Like when I mean support wise, I'm talking about she came from BGS, of course. Women, but it was AM and all of them pumping her up, right? They pumping her ass up because she came over there. She ran into Obsidian. She ran into fucking Bryn from the Neutral Zone in the B1. She's
frequent. Sister George knows.
Yeah. So now so think about it. You got a woman that was pumped up by the manosphere. Right, you got another woman that was been pumped up by the manosphere, right? So then they brought a dude's channel. You get what I'm saying? Like they brought a dude's channel, right? That was in the manosphere that said he was selling this stuff. No one was willing to negotiate with the dude to be really serious, right? They were serious, right? They brought it, right? Now I asked Sister George, right? Because I said niggas forgot that her and Curlin M got attacked. Right? Niggas forgot AM and the fucking AM and the fucking Dr. Seuss character over there.
Yeah. And she said that on Kuda's panel one time in the back check, and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I knew about it, but I didn't know about it like that.
We go, Sister George go back. I know why.
Yeah. So no, but see, here's the thing: we know about it, but the audience.
She herself said that she shouldn't have been able to do that shit.
What's that?
She's like
I am listening.
That's trying to teach the space a lesson, and they need to learn this fucking lesson. They need to get this work.
They ain't gonna never get the lesson. You know why? Because you know who taught them the goddamn lesson? You know what I'm saying? You know why? Who taught them the first lesson? It was Dr. Dick Pills. They didn't learn that, right? Dr. Dick Pills. No, for real.
Yo, DeAndre, bro, you gonna get me in trouble.
I'm not gonna get you in trouble. I'm like, man, you in the villain spirit, bro. You over here in the villain hideout.
They scared over here.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, look, hold on, man. Hold on.
But
Tampa, give you a PSA.
She fell out with AM over.
Yeah, over the Dr. Dick Pills.
Yeah.
Yo, so no, for real. Hold on. Let me get this PSA announcement. Hold on, sir. You need to put me on the front screen. You can put me on the front screen here real quick.
Okay.
I gotta get a PSA. Let me get a PSA.
Okay. Let me switch. There you go.
Okay.
The advisor. Go ahead.
Okay. The views of the Villain Sphere is not expressed by DJ Kuda or Player Talk Radio. These are our views and our views alone in the Villain Sphere. We stand on our own too. We hold our own nuts.
That's
Kuda
right.
has nothing to do with this.
That's right.
Player Talk
God
Radio.
of Gameism has nothing to do with this. We are villains all here. Long live the Villain Sphere.
Hell,
all right, I got I'm between Frieza and Boo.
Yeah, man. No, man. So see, I had to, because I gave Skeletor to Sir Obadiah right here, and then I'm gonna take Dr. Doom. I'm gonna take.
He got the funniest memes where he like does something and then that mirror comes up and he goes into it and then breaks it.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, bro. Listen, man. Look. I'm gonna say like this, man. This is not the time for the for anybody to be promoting the Black Manosphere, right? Especially after old dude and off this.
Dr. Dick.
Yeah, man. Like, yo, for real. Like, yo, this ain't the time right now, right? And I'm gonna tell you why. Niggas just had a meetup. The shit didn't go well, right?
Well, Obsidian was on the panel. He said it went well.
No, it didn't. It didn't go well. It went horrible. You know why it went horrible? Listen, first of all, we sat up there. Listen, man, I sat up there and I pulled up literally where they was at. These niggas, okay, let's just say everybody paid in $1,000. Dude rented out the spot, paid $30,000. You had 80 people show up. $1,000 is 80 racks.
Actually,
right?
that jumped to 50. So go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? So that jumped to 50, right? It got to jump to 50 all of a sudden. But let's just say he paid the 30,000, right? But you had 80 people show up to pay the $1,000 a piece. Even if you take out
it was room, a K a piece.
Yeah, that's what I heard, right? That's what I heard,
I don't
right?
think that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Now, when I mean
it was a K a piece.
$1K a piece. Now this probably covered your, your transportation and your room and board or whatever, right? For the 2 days. No, that's how you do a convention. That's how conventions work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not tripping about that. What I'm tripping about is this. This is what I'm tripping about. I'm a nigga. I do that shit for a living, nigga. That's what I do on a large scale.
Event planning.
Event planning, right? I do that shit on a large scale. Here's the problem, right?
It's always more than you projected.
But it's cool that you're making money off. Yeah, it's cool you make money off of it. But here's the thing: if 80 people showed up and they paid a K a piece, right? Even if you take out the 150 for the rooms, right? Knowing niggas was bunking up with each other, or maybe they was separate, right? Because they ain't had no bitches in the room. They wasn't going down to Atlanta and pulling no hoes because the whole convention was complaining about not getting no hoes, right? So anyway, let's move on, right?
Damn.
Niggas is sitting up there talking, right? Their mics was horrible, right? Listen, and here's the funny part. They got this big ass ballroom, right? There was no refreshments, none of that. I went on the website.
No, they had food, but it was outside. Yeah.
No. See, but that's what I'm saying, right? They didn't have the coffee sitting off in the back, right? They didn't have the staff running in, right? They didn't even have any projector screens like they're supposed to. Matter of fact, if they would have did it the right way, they should have picked the other room with the tables laid out with the podium and the 2 projector screens on the side, and they could have ordered all of that. Even if they had the Windows 95 computers, they could have had some better computers because the hotel would have provided it, long as they gave them what they needed it. Or what they should have did was contacted an event planner down there, and gave them their source material and had them set it up so they could do the presentation while they had to worry about it.
I was telling them about Coffee because Coffee said, "Man, nigga, I'll do that shit for less."
Yeah.
No. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. What it was is that was an initiation in the Beat Your Dick Club. Right?
God.
That's what it was. That's what it was, initiation. Now, what that was that was a passing of the helm from Obsidian to Bernard Riley. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. I didn't look at it that way because I was asking Obsidian. Well, y'all saw the show. I was asking.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. Yeah.
Like who are who's really gonna is there a torch passing
yeah.
But it's
Bernard Riley.
You know what's so funny, Akuda?
He's not looking at it. He's not looking at younger gentlemen to do it. They're looking for older gentlemen to do it.
Yeah, because that's what it is.
Because okay, I'm gonna put it to you like this.
I mean, but I know what they're doing because they feel that the newer generations they're not gonna really go to the. See, I know because I've been here for a long time. They're not gonna really go to the young boys because they don't listen to the young boys stuff. They're I want to listen to some grown man shit.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. The problem is
they don't
this.
think they're not gonna identify.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Kuda. Here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. A young man under the age of 25 haven't lived life long enough yet to even be listening to the shit that these niggas is even talking about.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They shouldn't come into these spaces until they're like 27, 28.
No, they shouldn't even be in these spaces until they 33. And then the reason
realistically,
why,
though.
No, realistically, no. They should
it's actually 33. Yeah,
it's 33.
See,
and
I fell into it at 19.
I'm not saying they should. I'm saying they shouldn't. I mean, listen, I'm saying they can listen to the space, but what I'm saying is that
from a distance. But I'm gonna say like what DeAndre's saying at the age of 33. I remember when I was 19, when I saw guys at that age, and I was younger, I learned from them. But see, at the time they had a different standard. Now they had problems back then. Yeah, they fought through.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, it may be old to you, but at the time that was young considering, because my dad at that time he was.
I think they should be familiar with this shit, but I don't think they should participate really until they 20.
Well, the problem is.
All right, the age part. What I was trying to say, the 33 part, it's because back then, if you was 33 back then in the old days of Black YouTube, I'll say Black YouTube. I ain't gonna say old manosphere. That shit's dead. It died in 2014. That was the 1.0 era. Okay. What I was referring to back then, if you was, I would say 33 back then, you had to know your shit. You wasn't on this nigga shit because Black people wasn't really cussing like that. I mean, they was probably cussing on certain pre-records a couple of years after. I started hearing that from like 09 and then all the way to 2010, like 2010 or something like that, and then 2012. We was raw out here like the Wild West. See, 07 when I was 19, you didn't really see nigga cussing like that unless it was like battle rap or some shit or sports or street ball and all that stuff where I grew up. You didn't see a lot of foul languages on YouTube like that. You never saw that back in the old Black YouTube. I mean, you did, but not as much. It was very limited because everybody was pre-recording. They was doing their thing. Because when you was in your 30s, you was outside. You was actually getting hoes or whatever. You was really outside like that. The internet was just leisure. See, what I did in my late teens and early 20s, I used YouTube as my leisure. I wasn't on it like that. And then when I was really on it, I think I was like the 3 years entrenched with this type of content. And this is technically my second channel because I lost my first channel to some bullshit on some political shit. And I said this many times. This is an example why I mean back then. And in my 20s, I didn't bitch and complain about women like that either. Because see, at the time in my early years on YouTube, I had a girlfriend prior to that. It was in 08. It was somewhere around December, and I cut her off in 09. So I was already in a red pill mindset. That shit's gone now because I'm beyond that. I left that shit in 2014. And I'm totally different than I was years ago. Because years ago I was something else. I was wild in my 20s, and I cherished those years and maintain who I was. But them spaces kind of died off later and on. But that's what it was. So back then, what I was explaining in my early years in my youth. See, I'm in my early 30s, and I can tell you I'm gonna be almost early to mid 30s coming up next month. But I'm just saying, back then it was very different. It was very different. So you had to be on your shit. But nowadays, these dudes, I think, coming in it like early 20s now, they're terrible. They're lost cause. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Vongo? What's going on, man? What's going on? Yeah. So yeah, man, because back then it was one of those things that you see this a lot. You see this a lot. Yeah. And that's just what it was, man. I was trying to tell Kuda, man, because these young boys was misled. I don't read this comment. He said, I'm 22 and I've been in this space. I have trouble with women, so I'm here. Yeah, see, you young. When I was your age, I think I still was on YouTube, but I was doing different types of content back then. And at that age, I'll say like 2010, it's very different. Then bitch and complain about them. I was living my life in my 20s and then find a job somewhere in my mid 20s because I struggled a little bit. And then I could tell you about those stories every day, but then I surpassed that. So in your 30s, you're trying to make this money as much as you can, because the pandemic was just a blunder. And then if you didn't reset, I'll say from 2020, from 2 years ago, you really was a lost cause. You would have got left behind. But shouts out to Dre for saying that, man. But on this one, like 5 months ago, and it's relevant what he's saying now. So yeah, you got time. I've tuned out all the bullshit. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. See, you're on the right track. I could tell you're gonna last long. You're gonna last long on YouTube. I never had a girlfriend, but I really did want one though. Oh, I had one. Shit, I would say probably from 08 when I was 20. Cut her off at 21. It was a different story. That's a long story, I can tell y'all. And I ain't got no issues. They was crazy back then, but not as crazy as what we see now. But dudes complain, but I blame the dudes allowing that shit to happen. So, let me put my ass back on the screen. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. He said I knew about MGTOW, but what not at 14, 15. I remember the bearded one was making videos in the car. Oh, you talking about you talking about Anger Man. Yeah. It's a lot of dudes worse than that. I never listened to those dudes. Thank God I never see. I was before him anyway. I was listening to dudes like I showed y'all Wacky early in the stream. He's one of the originals. It's so many people I could tell you I'd listen to. This is one dude. His name is Black Pride. Probably one of the best. A nigga went ham on everybody. And the content he was spewing back then would not be welcome today, because he went against the system and he talked about women, but he balanced it out. He wasn't gun-ho. He ignored the bitches and dealt with them. He was outside. This nigga was a former cop and the military. He was another one. See, y'all think I heard Surin's content before. I've heard his stuff years and years ago, but Black Pride is another one with the Y. He's the only one military I've seen that's been consistent what he's been saying. And I kind of look at his videos and his content. He was probably my first one that I really got entrenched with. And then when I heard Cerulean this year from last year, it lets you know that type of content Cerulean did back then was a little different than it is now. But shouts out to him and Black Pride. But those guys, when you have military guys seeing shit, what's going on and the changes in the world, they can tell you. Even if you put it in your content, see, back then we had solutions. Today, it's a lot of trauma bonding. That's why I did that thing. It's trauma bonding a religion. It's glorified echo chambers a thing, because we're going to talk about that on Mother's Day too, because it's going to be a good topic. What makes an echo chamber? And I'm glad I did it this past Sunday. We said glorified echo chambers. We meant gatekeeping, idol worship, false leadership, because they claim they leaders. That's why I put false leadership. And then the fourth part, and then Wacky mentioned this, propaganda tactics equals laziness. And then you have the habitual trauma bonding, like we discuss all that. And then the role modeling goes into the three things: gatekeeping, idol worship, and false leadership. See, it's a lot. But yeah, man. So we at it. Oh, yeah, let's go on, man. Let's go on. But yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. So that part, when you're that young, I would say now it's a little different than when I was young. So I was probably at that time, and I'm glad Dre brought this up in this stream. In my early years, I was entrenched with it, but I had my own mindset. See, I was raised with two parents. Even though my grandparents raised the rest of my early years when I was young, it was a balance of both sides. And I've seen outside. I've seen what it was, because the internet wasn't shit back then. It wasn't as great as y'all see it now, because these kids that grew up in the internet, they got every fucking thing. So I can't judge based on what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they just going to be on some bullshit half the time. So as you can tell in this stream, I'm explaining the parts that what Dre is saying, he's absolutely correct. We're going to bring in Cerulean real quick in this stream as well. And then I'll skim through the conversation and see how it lasted. And it was 9 hours, so I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'll play half. Y'all can watch the rest of it. And I'll probably put the link in the chat. Y'all can put that in your watch list, because that was a long-ass stream. I can tell you right now. And that shit is wild, bro. It was some nigga shit in between, but we'll we'll address that. So yeah, I'm gonna go on mute.
The way even that's people, a stretch.
Well, here's the problem, right? The problem is that when that link is dropped, anybody can participate.
Right.
See, niggas don't even have discernment of who they allow on their panels and conversate in these spaces, right? Then you got niggas running around with doctor's degrees saying the most dumb asinine shit, right? That's actually throwing.
He gonna say the G with the PhD. I heard even going.
No. I'm talking about Mr. Kwan's over there, the Dr. Black History Month right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, Johnson. Yeah.
Who's that?
Hassan, whatever the fuck his name is, man.
Dr. Campbell.
No, Hassan Johnson.
Mr. Kwan's.
A lot of people.
You know what I mean?
Like, listen, bro. I thought he was relaxing these days.
Nah, bro. Listen. Let me ask you a question, cool. Let me ask you a question. What problem does he have with he had a successful marriage, right? You know when a marriage is successful? When you stay married until somebody dies. Right? His wife passed away, right? And he said from cancer. She had terminal illness, cancer. She died and she had cancer and she passed away, right? Why are you up here going the fuck off on women when you was with your wife up into her passing, bro? Like,
facts.
yo, you need to go in the corner and sit the fuck down.
What if he's trying to jump back into the dating game? He don't like
bro. Look at the nigga. He musty, bro. Them yellow ass walls and shit, nigga.
Why are you doing?
Yo, come on, bro. You can sit cooler. Come on.
I got mad respect for TSR, John.
Nigga, listen, bro. Listen. Let me ask you a question, bro.
I'm scared of your question.
Listen. No. I'm gonna ask you a question, bro. Go look up. He's got a degree, right? In Black American studies and the study of Black boys, right? Okay, let me ask you a question. I looked on the internet.
What you're saying. You should be on to bigger, better stuff. If you had a successful marriage, there shouldn't be no bitterness behind it. You should be kind of right.
Yeah, yo, but see,
I know what you're talking about.
But see, here's the thing, bro. Here's the biggest part of that, right? If you're in those circles, right, and you saying that, quote unquote, by his numbers, Black women are most educated, then you are around, but they're the most single. You are around PhD level females all fucking day. So why can't you get one?
I was just about to ask you that question. So I guess you saw him soft shoe simping.
Yes.
And you want him to back up a bit of his soft shoe simping because he said they're available, then go get one.
Yeah, this is my problem. If you're a young dude, right, and you 27, right? See, at 33, and the reason why I say 33 is like this. Okay. You done tried multiple times from puberty up until
you trying to get them in their frustration and right when life is changing for them.
Yeah. See, that's what they're doing, right? And this is where you get these crazy ass fucking dudes running around. I can't take this anymore. My girlfriend said she was going to take my kid and kill her, go kill the ex-wife, and go blow his brains out and do it on Facebook, right?
Right.
And here's the problem. It's been proven he was watching Kevin Samuels and listening to Black Manosphere content.
That's what I was saying. We don't have nobody, especially. That's why I said I ain't gonna lie. It's better for a woman to do it so they know women are over here. We don't have no PR team organized of just the sisterhood. We should. I'm not even gonna lie.
You should let it go.
Hold on, and I know this gonna sound crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. Women are gonna be here, yo. We should. And
of course.
I know this sounds crazy because this is the manosphere, but we need to have our own set of womanosphere women that are aligned with this space to answer shit like that. Because if the news sit up there and come to spaces like this and be like, yo, what are y'all talking about? And like some broad is like playing like what Space Ghost Perp said or some shit. It's gonna look like we messed up. Like that's what we condone.
Yeah.
Well, see, the problem is
I'd rather have a group of ladies come out and be like, yo, they're not doing that.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, right?
I know people don't like that, but you always
it's like it's like this, man. It's like anything, right? It's like anything in life, okay?
Right.
The quote unquote manosphere in its whole, okay, it's too many L's niggas been taking, right? You got the fresh and fit shit over there, right? You got
losing to copyright shit, and then Albert Preach said, you know,
Albert
they was about to get, they was about to, they was about to. No, Albert Preach is good. No, Albert Preach is good, but no, they gonna take fresh and fit if they do some copyright shit. See, there's a rule: if you false
if you
copyright claim, a big
country,
they take your shit down. See, now
but
they
might
right
just
now.
give them, they might just give them a strike.
They may give them a warning, but if they find some shit that they've been doing, their channel's gone. They could start another channel. I'm just saying they could still have the gear and stuff.
Their channel gonna be around longer than ABBA and Preach, man.
No, it's not. And the reason, and I'm gonna tell you why
it's more effective. It's more effective than ABBA.
It's not. No, it's not. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you straight up why. Right? Their channel's not going to be around because the mainstream, well, the other side, the white manosphere, is attacking them and Rolo.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I see
and
that
Rolo
right now.
and Rolo
and Donovan is defending them right now. He's defending them right now.
And
Donovan has to defend them.
Yeah, because that's his boys. But here's the other problem.
Yeah.
Here's the other problem with Rolo, right? Is Rolo has to back off because he had old dude that lift weights. What's his name? Mike Rashad.
Yeah, Mike
Rashid. Come
Mike
at his ass.
Rashid. Yeah,
he came at his ass, right? And called his ass out, and then Rolo was sitting there being quiet. I watched his little clip that they showed, right? And then Fresh and Fit already said that they're going over to Cali because they got to look for a second studio. They got to move out of Miami. That's how bad shit is. They got to roll out of Miami.
Cali is way worse.
Yeah, but see,
they should have went to Vegas.
No, they can't. They can't go to Vegas because Donovan got ran up out of Vegas. See, here's the thing: their show is predicated off.
Doing, bro?
I'm gonna tell you what these niggas is doing.
Jay, explain for
yo. So I'm gonna tell you what these niggas is.
They got ran out of Vegas.
No. Well, Donovan, he ain't got no pull in Vegas, right? But see, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you his.
What are we, gangsters? Like
no, man. But you don't understand. Vegas is ran by the Mormons, bro. They don't play that shit. They ran by the Mormons, bro. People don't even know that.
Yeah, that's connected to them people in Utah. Those Mormons. One time they used to live in Georgia in the 80s. I had a guy that was from Florida. It was a black guy named Jeff. He told me. He said they had the white. But no, they had the Mormon clothing and everything, the cross and everything. But the Christians, I hate to say it, and the Catholics ran they ass out in Atlanta. Yeah. Now they had to migrate to what you call it, Salt Lake and Vegas and all that. Yeah. All that shit.
The mob rolled out. Yeah, when the mob rolled out, they took over. But what I'm saying is this: they're not trying to hear that fuck these bitches shit in Vegas.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? That's how they make their money off of niggas tricking off on hoes. Yeah, right. So if you over there spitting game in Vegas, bro, they gonna split your shit because you fucking.
Well, I mean, they'll never run out of girls, but yeah.
Right. No, they'll run out of girls because you know what I mean they'll be blackballed. That's why they getting blackballed in Miami. See, here's the thing, right? All of them chicks that are rolling up there talking to them chicks are starting not to be allowed to be in the clubs no more. Like they you know what I mean, they bottom line. These niggas are actually getting blackballed. So they're going to go to Cali and do the same thing. Their whole show is predicated not off of what the fuck they saying, but having a whole bunch of chicks dumbing themselves
It's the
down.
women. It's the women
on the panel, right? So you can't. So basically, what you're basically saying is you can't leave the women out of the space, nigga. You can't sell shit unless you got chicks on the motherfucking panel.
Facts.
Like you can't listen. You niggas don't have a
the whole thing. Well, I'm gonna tell you
the
manosphere wasn't supposed to be a sausage fest, but the dudes turned it into a sausage fest.
Well, see, that's what I mean.
If dudes were sitting around having like when I give y'all the game, if dudes were sitting around having effective conversations and going out in the field and stuff, with pertaining to women and shit like that, we wouldn't care about no goddamn sausage fest. But it's a lot of dudes sitting around shooting shit. And even them shooting the shit is ineffective.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean is that, like, and this is what I keep trying to say to you, Cool, is this right here, right? Every time you say the word manosphere, right, or black manosphere, right?
Dude, I'm getting blackballed, bro.
Yeah, then stop saying it. Come up with your
No, I
own
am.
shit.
I'm about to I'm revamping the whole
Yeah, man, the
show.
Yeah,
player
we've been
sphere
saying
or something like that.
I'll
Man,
talk.
come
I'll
up with
talk.
something.
I'll talk
you
about
know,
it, and y'all will know what's going on. But
Yeah.
I'm not.
But you know that podcast and stuff that you talk about on your channel and the combination of tech, that's genius. And I said this in my blog streams. Every blog streams I said, I tell people in the chat, look, that's his thing. I'm not hating on him. You know, the reason I messed with you in March, I said, man, let me see what this man's about, because I didn't mean to troll him that hard over it, you know, MOTs or whatever, but I was learning about your channel, and I was looking back at that, like, I was like, wow, you know,
you have an obligation. You have an obligation to do whatever you want, you know.
Yeah, you know, I was just being myself at the time.
I mean, I do have the right to get mad at you, but
you had to, and I was cool with it though. But see, that's the first time I get a guy like you. Like
no, but I'm saying after a while, I had to sit back and check myself, and I'm like, why? Like what? What
and then I'm glad I explained myself. You know what I did though, and I didn't get mad though, because I'm glad I did it, because now I get to know you. And
no, but it's like, what am I about to do? Sit up there and yell at you? Like I was actually mad because MOT shouldn't have been talking to anybody like that for that matter. You know what I'm saying? So
he got emotional. I was grabbing some ice. I didn't pay him no mind. Like he said, I drunk and I didn't pay him no mind. I just kept on throwing shots at him.
But it's like you had to be a martyr so other people can sit up there and see that like,
I had to be that martyr. You know why? What it was? I didn't want to be no yes man. I fooled him. But see, I kept throwing shots at him and let him know, like, look, ever since that incident with Tommy, them niggas is done. And then they numbers is dropping. See, now they be sneak soaking over here watching my shit now. So no niggas you done about everything.
That's what you saw him try to come on talking about some link. I'm like, nigga, no.
Nigga.
You gotta link these nuts.
I mean, he's emotional, man. He be watching over it, but you know, Jay Sean got over. Once I had Sean and Cerulean, that nigga is not hitting that link over here. I'm trying to tell you. I tried to tell you,
but bro, he been acting up like that.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say that,
and he be stealing content too, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say this, cool, and this is just.
Shit.
Well, no, I'm like, it's gonna happen, man. That means you're doing something right? Like,
you're doing something right.
Listen, man, when our glorious Char Willie sent me a clip of Tanya.
Shout out to Char Willie.
Sent me a clip of fucking Tanya TKO saying dirty foots and shit. Like, it's going to happen.
But they've been stealing our shit. You know what? You know what word I'm mad? You know what word I'm actually mad that women stole?
Dereliction?
No, hypergamy.
You said dereliction. It's a day-to-day fight. Shout out to the great regime.
Hypergamy, man.
Hey, Cuda. All right,
that's their word, but they wasn't using it prior to the manosphere.
Yeah, well, but Cuda. But here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing. These niggas complain about women not letting you lead, right? Now, here's the funny part about it. Now, you didn't see me do this, Cuda. Sir didn't see me do this a lot, right? Everybody didn't see me step up on a female's panel and pretty much have a conversation with them to the point where they just hand over the panel. Me and Cerulean has done it.
Yeah.
All this, right? This happens time and time again. Right?
See, what they don't understand though is you have a directive tone with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? You have a directive tone with what you're saying, and women look at that as leadership, you know, via conversation. Yeah.
And the reason, and that's what I'm saying is that's what I mean is a lot of these guys, right? A lot of the stuff that some of you are saying, right? And when I mean some of you, I mean the ones where I can say, yo, I understand where he's coming from, what he's saying, but he's got the receipts to prove what he's saying. But I could say there's a fine line between critique and straight out bashing and hate.
Straight up hating, yeah.
Right. And the problem is majority of these dudes, when they come across out of their mouth, because they get paid off of these platforms,
and people,
maybe 50% of their income or 100%. Yeah, there you go. And then who's going to listen to this blindly is people that are under a certain age, because what?
Well, that's the people in the red pill rage, though. But DeAndre, this is the thing, because I know what you're saying when you said that guys shouldn't be here. You said 33, right?
Yeah.
That's
bro.
max. Yeah.
Bro,
now, when I mean here, what I mean
you want
here,
to get
I'm
that red pill
you.
rage in the blood.
He's not excluding you. Go ahead.
No. I'm excluding. These all right. Let me tell you the people I'm excluding. Right.
Cause that red pill rage is for real, bro. Like them niggas. By the time these millennials ain't gonna make it to 33. These niggas killing themselves, bro.
No.
I'm 33 right now, and I'm still here.
But see,
I almost killed myself yesterday.
Man, what the hell?
Come on, man. Come on. It ain't that bad. Come on.
So with the KFC, y'all. I was about to get the biscuit. Deli, bro. I was about to end it.
Oh no!
All right here. Don't drink.
The game was on the side of the DC.
I'm ending it all right now.
But you know, Kuda, like
put the biscuit down. Yeah,
these are the people that I in that space, right? There's very few, right? Yeah. You're not included in it, right? Ism definitely is not included.
No, for real. If my red pill rage come back, y'all let me know so I can quit for a little bit.
No, I'm trying to get you to quit now, man. But, okay. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's not you. Is like I said, it's like you're not included, right? Because you know what I mean? Because you're not included. Ism's not included. Because Ism's actually trying to combat the fucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Ism means well. Like Ism. Not,
no, Ism's doing what old school.
He's always welcome over here. That's my boy, man.
Ism is doing what we used to do. What was done by the OGs to us, right? Is you shame a motherfucker.
You need guys like that. Hell yeah.
But the problem is that this younger generation, they can't take the shame of getting right?
Exactly.
They misuse guys like that.
Yeah, they saw.
But hold on, but DeAndre.
Yeah, that part with court dresser, you know, he's not welcome over here. So yeah, that was at the time. That was at the time before the purge, I believe. And that nigga's, you know, he's toast. So disregard that. That was the past. 5 months later, where is he at now? Exactly. But you know, for this part, it got interested, and we're trying to explain to him about the generational shit. And I said this to Art. Stop saving these motherfuckers. And I think me and Sarul said it's all fair. You know, I think he said something. They're like the last. We're like, one of us is like the last of the kind of the great days of old America and all that stuff. I forget what we said. It was very interesting. But at that time, you know, I was looking at it, and I don't know how many hours we was in. We was like 3 hours in. Yeah. You know, we was trying to explain him that part. So, you know, I'm going to skim through this shit a little bit. I don't want to bore y'all to death. Hold on. We'll see what's really going to come through. Yeah, you know, right at, you know, 3 hours in, we was talking. Because I was going to end the stream at 2 hours. Because that's normally what I do when I do part twos and things like that. But it did extend it with the conversation. Because I know, I said, what was it on? I don't know what, and I believe it was Wednesday night or something like that. But you know, I wish they had the time set. They took the timestamps off, so you get the gist of what's going on. And yeah, man. And I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, like that stuff is just wild. But the conversation just. You know, it went into nationalism, and I think we talked about, you know, actual etiquette, current events, what's going on with these young men, and they're brainwashed with these ideologies. But this conversation right here explains why I do these series like the way I do. And then people be on panels with the LBM Coliseum. I study niggas what they be doing, because then they get misled about this red pill shit. The red pill stuff is just a distraction. The modern day red pill you hear now is a distraction. They just focus the women this, women that. That's a distraction. You're not really teaching them anything. And I saw this is dude. I skywatched this clown, the so-called GOAT, right? But he got checked by East Baltimorean. What's that guy's name? Ching Ching. He pulled his card. When I saw that yesterday, that nigga kicked him off the panel. He said, hey, nigga. And he challenged his points. And then they was talking about race and everything. You know, he was on that nigga shit. He don't even believe the content that he believes. He said, my content is not changed. Nigga, it's changed. Nigga, stop it. You ain't really doing what you supposed to be doing. Shit's changed. A lot of niggas change, I would say, from 2020 they was doing it, but they wasn't the last time. My content has not changed. I said, nigga, your content's changed, bro. Mine's kind of changed when I came back, but it really didn't change as much. It's really the same. It's just, you know, I do live streams and pre-records, and also I do the vlog stream thing. That's it. I do 3 things. You got to do 3 things, but the pre-records, I'm going to do it. I might drop one this Friday. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I might drop one. I might do a vlog stream. I might do one probably Friday morning. Yeah, I might do that. I might do that Friday morning. Yeah, I might have to do that. Cause that way, you know, I probably pre-record that night. Cause I know I'm gonna be on the XLR thing, or no, I'm gonna be on USB. I'm gonna be on USB tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, cause that way I'll get the gist of what's talking about. So yeah, because that's when I'll be on my other condenser, you know. Yeah. I can do that. I got a plan for y'all. So it is what it is. So you see this a lot. So in these conversations, it gets thick. It's already an hour and it's just 2 hours. So, you know, I ain't gonna end it just yet. I just, you know, if y'all want to counter the points, that's fine. But we're gonna see the part where cerulean is, because I know people's doing a thing. And that's a good thing. So y'all have y'all's chance. So it ain't much going on Wednesday, because Wednesday is usually a slow day, you know, and then the beginning will be Thursday, because Thursday is where the action really happens. And I see this a lot. So I don't know what this conversation entails, but I'm gonna let y'all hear this. Hold on for a second.
Forget about it. Move on. Right?
3 days is a long time.
Yeah, 3 days is a long time.
Yeah, or 2 days is a long time.
Yeah. So what happened was, is she had Grown Folks TV up there, and then she put Tracy with the T in her chat, right?
That's a no.
Not in the chat, but in her title, right? And I was like, do you? And then Cluster was live going in on somebody.
What's going on, Gino?
With the T is in Cluster's chat. I was like,
my bad, y'all. I can't see the chat.
So I was like this. I was like, all right, look. I'm saying to myself, yo, do you realize that Cluster been on this nigga neck for like a year and a half? I'm like, she rolled up on this nigga house in the middle of the night in a house coat and knocked on the nigga door, and the nigga called the police with a gun on him because he was scared of the Cluster in Philly. Like from Star Report, don't fuck with Cluster. Anybody that Cluster got a problem with, you stay on the other side of the
earth. Cluster cool. I don't want no problem. But
like, she's cool. She's cool.
But
I like Cluster. But she be with the fuck.
She's from Philly. Yeah.
Yo, Cluster live right now, roasting somebody by herself for 3 hours.
Yeah, but hold on. She ended it.
Oh, she just ended it. All right.
Yeah, it's 2 hours. No. The reason she's doing it is because she's trying to go to another direction herself. I've been watching her stuff too, and I waved at her, shouts up to her. But you know, but she's on that. Yeah.
I want to see what's going on right here. Yeah, I kind of got fucked up for a minute. Hold on. Oh shit. Yeah. I want to make sure. Damn, what's going on? All right, back at it again. Hold on. Let me see. Oh shit! I don't want this. Okay, I'm gonna put this little tab down. Make sure ain't nothing suspicious going on. Okay. Damn, it's always something. It's always something. Yeah, let's get into the good part. We get to the good part. I think the internet is being janky right now. I don't want to pull it or anything. Okay. Yeah, it gets janky like that. I ain't gonna end nothing, but damn. Let's get to the juicy part. Oh, fuck. Okay. I gotta see what's going on. Okay. Yeah, because I don't like checking shit when I'm on live. God damn it. It's always something. Yeah, I gotta. Hold on. Fuck. Yeah, let me play it. Oh damn.
Yeah. She better off your friend than
Yeah,
Yeah, she's cool. You know, I ain't talking shit to her.
I'm not telling y'all to be scared of niggas on the internet, but
No. I know how she is. I mean, she's from Philly. I respect her.
Certain shit just ain't worth it, bro.
No, where it is. She reminded me of my old aunts that had that fiery temper and stuff like that. If you mess on crossing, yeah, she gonna come at you, man. But I respect her for that.
Nah, but when you and your channel going in that direction, bro, that's when you really fucking up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Even she will tell you.
Yeah, she been saying in the all strings. I've been listening. She said, you know, the one thing I like what she said though is you can't trust these niggas with these emails. And I agree with her.
Yeah, she keep it up. Listen, but even still, right? And this is what I'm saying about Sheila. So she had dude up there, and then grown folks was trying to make it about the kids and spin this shit, and everybody was so Cat got up there. Cat was talking. You know, James was up there machine gunning. So you know, grown folks left. So I jumped up there because we got to put a kibosh on this shit. Big J was up there. Him and James was going back and forth.
Oh Lord!
So I had to kind of put a kibosh on that shit because it was getting out of hand, right? So we was up there talking. Trinity brought herself up there. I guess that to go at James. James left or whatever because he had something.
Her whole crowd, right? Bro.
You know what I'm saying? And while I was up there, man, we was having a conversation. And then it went over to Trinity's panel or whatever, for whatever reason. And then we went to Cat's channel, right? And you know, the whole conversation was doing whatever it was doing. A little belongs in that. That's what she. That's what she needs to be over there, safe and sound. Because look, if she had a problem with
it was
like
kind
motherfuckers
of
link up with the wrong person,
merger. We was talking about that at the time. There's a lot of political stuff going on. So yeah, and she should have stayed in her lane at the time. This is when we already had the fallout and everything. So basically, what I'm saying in so many words, you know, my audio was fucking up a little bit. It was my internet, so it happens sometimes, you know, because I had to take something off the damn charger. That was probably affecting it. You know, my internet's good. I'm like, what the fuck? And you know, it happens sometimes. I mean, it's good. It's just every now and then the internet can fuck up on you. So, you know, and the reason the screen was fucked up, I didn't get the meat of it, but it happens. It happens to the best. So I had to rework it and all this stuff. But yeah, this is when Cerulean came on the panel. I think it's like, what, 3 hours, 41 minutes, 25 seconds. And he's going to chime in. And it's going to get back on topic. I think the basis, and it comes right back around. This is like 3 hours now. I could have ended this, whatever, but it extended that long. But, you know, the nigga shit was going to be somewhere around in the middle. I don't know. Because I ain't going to play it too much longer. I'm going to speed it up. And you see everybody on there. And the general was on here, too. You know, everybody was on here. So you get what you get. You know, you had TC Killer, you had everybody. Yeah, it was epic. He said it was a classic. It damn straight it was. And I was on. Thursday was one of those nights. Not Thursday morning, I would say like Wednesday, Thursday morning, but Thursday Thrills. I think I did Thursday Thrills afterwards, and that was like a heated exchange. It was like a little heated exchange, but I think we had some time. But that expound on whatever. So, you know, I was playing in so many words, but yeah, my internet was like in and out. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So y'all have to forgive me on that, because that shit had to rework it. So I was like, God damn. I was like, what's going on? I was like, my shit worked. And it happens. It happens. If in case y'all was wondering, I was like, you know, I can't do that. I'm 2 hours in. So I'm gonna let this play the last part where Dre was talking. So I'm gonna let y'all hear it.
Cluster going dragon for 40 days and 40 fucking
Oh
nights.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I was just happy. I was just happy. I was just fucking happy that Bomb Cherry didn't buy Ramil's channel. That was,
what's up?
I was just happy Bomb Cherry ain't buy Ramil's channel. Bruh, do you know how bad that would have fucked the space up?
Oh yeah, I'll be laughing.
Yo, listen.
If Bomb had bought, if she bought Ramil's channel, bro.
What's up, man? You gotta turn your mic up. What's up, Yerb?
Yeah. You coming in good, Cerulean. What's going on, man?
If she bought Ramil's channel, bro, that shit. I'm
gonna tell you like this, man. That was, and I say it like this. Ramil, listen. Like I said, I asked Sister George, was that a petty move that she made? And she was like, no, it was. I said, come on, sister. She said, yeah, that was petty. I was getting my get back. She said I was getting my get back. She's like,
but Sister George, good peoples though. I rather.
Yeah, that's what. Listen, bro. Listen, man. Look, bro. Look. If you don't understand, hold on. I am the CEO.
That one right there.
Yeah,
it's really about the comment. Go ahead.
I know. This is a whole beef. I'm familiar.
And salute to the black nobility.
What's going on?
Salute.
Hell, how are we, man? I said, well, bro, where you been at, bro?
Who, me?
DJ Kuda.
I've been here. I've been around everywhere.
Kuda tried to duck all the petty bullets, man.
Y'all know I've been here. I've been doing like the marathon lives, bro.
Kuda been
12-hour joints.
Kuda been like he been old Palpatine over there being
bro, and then I'm supposed to go live again tonight. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about.
Hey Kuda, I was surprised that when you saw those clips, you wasn't being petty, man. Where's your mic game at? Like I was waiting. I was like, damn, Kuda, look, cook them. You see the clips of dudes posting when they was at the Manosphere meetup and shit? Them niggas
yeah.
like the tin can, like with the string on it.
It's a process. Don't
No, but I'm
rush
saying
the
when you
man. Don't rush the
when
man.
you in a ballroom like that, bro, your mic they should have had a handheld mic, a SM
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
SM50 and some speakers, a
Man, them
SM58
niggas
and some speakers.
had one Motorola Razor.
Right.
Them niggas had a
But-
Motorola Razor.
But Kuda, the
couple of
last time we was on the panel, right? And Fast was on the panel. He tried to say, "Is that Platinum's wood?" I said, "No, that's cerulean." Like he's, that's him. I said, "Yeah." I tried to say Platinum. I said, "Fasting." I said, "Dude."
Yeah.
I said,
I
"That's
think
not."
I heard
that's
the
not
nigga's next tail chirp going off on one of those videos.
Right.
Yeah. The nigga over there selling them
You know what's
used cars to the
interesting, man,
military dudes for hyped up interest.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting?
Mhm. Go ahead.
Talk about Mr. Pump and Dump.
Mm.
Mr. Pump and Dump. I was watching a video from Tracking the Manosphere.
Oh shit. Shit.
Where he was advocating for Sharia law.
Yeah.
Right.
And not even understanding that Sharia law is exercised differently depending on region,
Right.
depending
Right.
on tribe.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, I
even-
posted it on the Discord. I'm petty for that. I'm sorry, y'all.
Religion and stuff. Yeah.
but the specific type of Sharia, right, that he was advocating for is the same type of Sharia that, well, was kind of leading up to the global war on terror.
Mm. I mean, I know back in the day, me and what's his name? Shit, I don't know.
Red cups and the string. I'm done.
No, I was
Collie J.
You know what?
Yeah.
No, but
the
look.
sad part about it, and this is my opinion. The only
Talk
reason
about
why,
Sharia law.
the only reason why you hear these Negroes talk about the so-called meetup being a success is because they don't want to feel like they got taken for a ride.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah. They got
Like-
to. Man. Yeah.
Like, come on, man. All
That
of that shit was last minute.
$1,000 a head. That kind of got. I was like, whoa.
Like having planned these kind of events before,
Mm.
like, bro, when you paying $3,000 for a fucking hallway, like, or a hall like that, a ballroom,
Yeah, they swindled you.
Yeah.
like, come on, man. Like, they days before the event actually happens, you do sound check, and then you do another sound
You
check
set up the night before. Yeah.
the day before,
Yeah.
the night
Yeah.
before.
And hours
Make sure
before.
all of your audio is exceptional. You have your digital and visual aids like your projectors and whiteboards and et cetera,
Mhm.
right? If you want to do presentation, these niggas was on a fucking stage that had been stowed away, which is sitting in front of the exit doors,
Mm.
which is a fire hazard.
Man.
So if a fire broke out in that ballroom, like the exit is blocked because of the
Yo,
fucking-
it'd have been 20 niggas with their asshole eating out because them fat niggas would have ate
on,
through
why
them niggas to get through that motherfucker.
Why
Wait,
y'all
you got a
gotta-
wet ass. A wet
Why-
ass.
Why y'all gotta think like this?
Yo, shout out to C Boogie for that wet ass comment.
Come on,
See
man.
Boo Boo. We talking about See Boo Boo. We gotta say that on Saturday,
He
Dre.
said it
We gotta
for
get-
I
And
even
to
think
my
about
surprise,
something for fire, bro.
like I've heard of this guy Nate, and I've heard like a clip of him, and the way
You
this
know
nigga
what?
was talking, you would have thought he
Cerulean,
was.
that
Yeah,
is
you would-
actually that will be the match of the century. If you and Little Big Nate go at it on Teapot,
Man, look.
y'all
That could be
personalities are like polar opposites.
Let me ask you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could have 10 little big Nates, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would be 10 times 0?
Come on,
I
man.
know exactly what Saru talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like
So-
It
me
wouldn't even
arguing
last.
with 10 zeros is equivalent to me arguing with nobody.
Oh, what's up, Mike V?
What's going on, Mike V?
What's going on, Mike?
Yo.
V? I mean, I like Little Big Nate. He's funny, but I like him more as a voice.
But his
Look,
but his
let me
his
tell
is
y'all-
his is
Dude,
term.
when I
He
saw
said,
let me
I'm
tell
done.
y'all something though. Let
I'm
me tell
When
y'all
I
done.
something
saw
though
that
about.
picture of that nigga, when I saw that picture of that nigga, I just had to say
I
it.
know. Wait, hold on. Wait.
When I saw
But
that
this
picture,
is what I'm saying, because the same shit happened with Donovan Sharp. Let me tell y'all something though. Some of y'all need to just stay on the microphone. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your sound is paramount, because when it's, sometimes the camera shit don't do justice. It just don't. And if you know you're that type of guy,
hey,
stay on the mic till you become the type of guy that
Big Nate this. That nigga definitely has a face for radio.
I see. Come on, Cerulean, man. Come on, man.
Yeah. He has a face for radio, but the way he was on camera, he looking like that cool. He need to be quiet, talking all that bullshit about women. Yeah, you need to fall back.
No,
dude.
I mean, I'm just saying,
decent.
Some people are
That
just better.
nigga's face looked
like Donovan
looked
Sharp.
like he had a conjoined twin at birth that got aborted.
See, y'all super petty.
Petty. I don't care. But see, Donovan, we see the nigga. We see the nigga.
Y'all Tom Petty. Look,
no, but see, Elizabeth, here's the thing, Kuda. Here's the thing, right? Here's the problem, right? Here's the problem, right? I don't have a problem, right?
Like, I gotta check that out, Mike.
Like Donovan Sharp. I don't too much care for the dude's content, right?
Right.
But it is proven.
His shit is star quality.
But he got a chick. And it is proven. Right. Like, think about it.
But see, if all of that was up for speculation, he would have been leading that whole sector. Donovan Sharp.
But what I mean is
Donovan Sharp type, right?
Right.
Go ahead, Sir.
Understand something, right? When you see value in something that you are a part of, that you are contributing to, that you're help creating, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see, like specifically for your specific demographic per se, you're not going to go seeking refuge under the nuts of the competition. And what I'm saying by that is,
I know what you're saying. I know
you have a black manosphere that's trying to build something up, right?
Yeah.
And you find value in it. You're not going to see a reason to want to suckle up under the nuts of the white manosphere.
No, but see, he ended up doing better like alone, and
like that tell you. That tell you something.
No, but I'm saying he should have been alone the whole time. But this is what I'm saying. Like the way O'Shea and the way that's funny. You got ODJ and then you got ADJ, Anthony the Dream Johnson. Anyway, the way you got Anthony and O'Shea trying to make it seem the type of person he is, they try to make it seem like Donovan is a snake. Like they try to make it seem like he'll snake you out of your business or something like that. They try to make him seem they both kind of made it seem like he's a snake. I mean, I don't see that, but
I'm like, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Like business wise,
no consequence, but it's just like,
yeah.
But it's like you have all of these accusations of, women destroying the space and blah 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 blah. You know, you had one dude, mild-mannered man running around telling niggas not to put women on the platform.
Take their riches.
But see, here's the problem: is that when you really look at it, it's been the dudes that have been destabilizing the space. More so than anybody else.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yo, hey, Kuda, I do got this. I got this for you, bro. Yo, old girl is in Pasadena, Maryland, bro. Old Melody King. When you gonna get on your panel?
She in Pasadena?
Yeah, bro. She said it. Yo, she in Maryland, bro. She newly divorced, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah,
I know she was that close. Hold on.
Yeah, she that close.
Yeah, she's in her 40s. She got 2 kids, and she's divorced.
I know. I'm safe. My girlfriend don't listen to this channel. Hold on,
y'all. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying, she don't listen.
Yeah. No, that's what
she don't know nothing about
the that shit like 25 miles from.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, sir? I told you I was right, right?
Yeah, you was. I told you. I mean, I saw her old channel while she swiped those videos. Yeah, she's divorced.
Sir, I'm talking about the other shit.
No, but see, I told y'all she got the right coordinates to pull dudes in the manosphere because she's tangible. She looks.
Of course she is.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing, and this is what I keep saying, right?
She wife material. So let's see how you get that.
Well, she was wife material because
she's proven it because see, the thing is, all right. So the whole not get with single mothers thing, right?
Right.
The exception. The player, because these dudes, they butcher shit. The player exception to the rule is if she had those kids under marriage.
Yeah.
Well,
but
here's the fundamental problem, right? When you hear a dude,
Mhm.
I'm gonna put it in perspective for y'all. Okay. Why do you think you hear so many Negroes,
Mm.
derelict Negro males, men in name only, transplanted, transracials, calling for this mass boycott of single mothers? Okay. These are the guys that, went to sleep hungry at night because they heard they single mom getting that ass taxed every night.
Yeah.
Making sure winter wasn't coming.
You know what?
Random
You
flavor of the week.
I've been see they had resent babies running around out here. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the other side of that coin is you got a lot of these niggas that have basically made single mothers. Right?
Mm.
See, say you found value in a woman that had children. Right? I don't. And see, if you notice, if you ever been part of like some baby daddy drama,
No,
when a greater nigga, right, or a better dick, right, starts fucking with an old girl, right, the nigga all of a sudden wants his family back. Right. So how do you advocate for that without directly saying it? Stay away from these single mothers.
Right. No, I mean you can do it different ways. Like, I was, but see, I know I really can't use this as an example because I was using, like, let's say Russell Wilson as an anomaly. He moved.
He got him right there with that question about the baby daddies and stuff like that. It got real political when Cerulean said that. So basically, what Cerulean is saying, like, these dudes have a lot of resentment for women, and I skywatched Cookie Monster today, and the way she explained, she had a hell of a stream, and I was watching that, and it borderlines to this what I'm saying tonight. A lot of times these dudes, it's a combination of this and everything else what people be saying, I'll be seeing in certain spaces, and what's so fucked up? They're absolutely right, because a lot of these dudes, they resent certain things. Like, they'll use politics as a crutch in these spaces as well. And if you notice, they always talk about females as the main thing. The reason I don't talk about feminism, you'll see how many people be in the chat. But if you use certain pictures, certain trigger pictures like black women, they'll derail the topic. And that's why I don't really get in depth on that ideology, because they'll blame it on the opposite sex 95% of the time. So I see this a lot. And shouts out to Cerulean in this, because this is a classic. If y'all see this lets you know we was on that type of time last year, because we was trying to get away from that bullshit, because we already know what was coming, because them niggas better stop talking about that bullshit, because that shit's dead, man. Because after, we look at this year, then next year, and in a few years, they don't want that shit. I don't think the advertisements care. I think the advertisement, it looks at who they gonna pick and choose anyway, and a lot of those dudes is different. But it will come back to bite you if you ever go mainstream. I tell people all the time, nothing leaves the internet. Nothing. Everything's recorded. Wherever you say on those panels, wherever you say it as your content, or you cool with someone and they know what you do out here, they got you, especially in GA. You can't hide down here. You can't hide down here. A lot of people say you can hide in anywhere. No, you can't hide in GA. They find out you was anti this and that, they're gonna get you. You're gonna be scrutinized, and they do that shit down here. Because where I live, they don't play that shit, especially if you try to get a job or something good or whatever, promotion. They gonna remember, and they'll pull up your internet shit, your internet history. That matters. And that's the whole thing about politics too, because politics goes into, when we talk about socialism, when we talked about Marxism and any ideology, and then right-wingism like we see now with fascism. And the reason I want to touch this, and I'm glad we talked about part 2, is we had this type of conversation. Yes, it delved down to feminism. I'm glad Kuda brought the feminism aspect of this argument when he referenced the manosphere. No shots at Kuda, but I'm just saying at the time he was trying to bring that. So what we was trying to do, the three of us, like me, Cerulean, and Dre, was doing, we was isolating the conversation back the way it was. Now, we warned niggas things was going to happen and change. You got to mix up the conversation. You can't go after opposite sex all this time. they expect to make changes. You know what I'm saying? You got to put it in the work, especially as men, because we can't be bitching and complaining. Like, we don't have that option. You got to do something out here, because I'm actually doing something out here with this election process in GA with this government race, and we see this all the time. So I was off that in March. Now this was last year in December, 5 months ago. Now we're in what, April, and it's a whole new year. I ain't even think about this shit. So I'm gonna talk about something else tomorrow, and I got those shots. It's just like I show you that screenshot with old Grandmaster himself. He's trying to say, "Oh shit!" Charles brought up the link. That's when you see him in the chat. So, we're gonna I'm gonna skim through this because y'all can see the gist of the conversation. So, because I kind of had a delay because this is when we had a full panel and stuff like that. Let's see who's up here. Gino. Yes, Gino, TC Killer. Who else came up here? Yeah, that's, we came up here. I'm just skimming through some shit. And of course, the general, Saru, and I put us three up here. I don't see what this is said right here. I'm going to turn this down real quick.
But see, here's the thing, right? And this is, and Kuda, this is what I'm talking about when you have these stories, right? That dudes that's under the age of 27 don't need to be in the space, because you got to listen to what the general said.
Yeah.
What the general said was he was there talking to the young man, and he talked him out of a bad situation, right? He was a support system, right? There was a solution to the problem. Here's the problem. None of these niggas give a solution to the fucking problem. They just talk on a 24-hour fucking news cycle about these bitches ain't shit. Look at this example. But they never give a solution on how he came out of it. And then when you got brothers like the general, when you got brothers like Jay Sean, right? When you got these other brothers that say, yo, I went through this, but I did this, and I got my kid, or I worked it out, or yada, 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 like Art, right? Art style.
Right.
He worked out his situation. Like, he had an issue when he was going through.
Even Ty City, he said it the same. But he said this the other day. He said not everybody's got it like him. And I'm glad he did that string. He said, he won, and he's cool with his baby moms. He said that shit would have solved out in the parking lot the way he said it. And I'm glad he said it that way. But most men can't do that, like you said, Dre. But it's a couple of brothers have done that, and that's what he tried to do on his channel. Yeah.
What we don't do is we allow these women to come up here and they use words like, you black men don't fight for their children. Well, when they do, you see black men have a propensity, men in general, but when we're talking about black men, we go to the max 0 to 100. Listen, man, I'll give you my personal story real quick, and I know y'all heard me tell it before. So I'm stationed in Germany. I'm stationed in Germany, right? I'm stationed in Germany, right? So my ex-wife called him. You got to come, the kids, this, that. You got to come do something. I'm tired. I'm at my wit's end. I don't know what to do. So I said, okay, fine. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I said, I'm getting tickets right now. I'm going to bring them to Germany with me for the whole summer. You will have 3 months. I'm going to, listen to this now. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. See, a lot of motherfuckers say, oh, you simping. I said, okay, I'll tell you what. I said, give me my kids. Let me have them. I'll bring them over here for a summer vacation in Germany. I was remarried at the time. So I said, don't worry about it. I got it. I said, and to make the deal even sweeter, I'm going to pay for the round trip tickets. I'm also not going to stop the child support. You're going to continue to get the child support for the 3 months that I have them. Is that a deal or not? You tell me, gentlemen. That way it gives you some free time to clear your mind and, get some sanity or whatever. I get to see my children. They get to see something they never seen before and experience. Okay. I paid $3,700 for two round trip tickets for my children, right? $3,700, right? So I said, hey, I got the tickets from this date to this date. My oldest son, I think, was 12 at the time. I said, so he's old enough to fly. And then I got a chaperone. I paid another $280 for a chaperone to fly with them. One of the agents, one of the flight attendants was gonna, take care of it. I said, so that's Well, I don't know. This is what she said. Now, leading up to the week, it was about 2 weeks before they was due to fly. I don't know. I thought about it. Now we didn't talk about this shit for 6 months. Every time we talk about it is yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, they can come. Yeah, we got passports for them. Yeah. 2 weeks before they do the fly, this bitch tells me I thought about it, and I don't think I'm gonna let them come way over there by themselves. Listen, I'm gonna fill you in now. So I said, what's the problem? That's too far for them to be flying by themselves. Okay, not a problem. Too easy. I go, I get another ticket for $1,700 round trip. Do the math. Somebody add this up. 3,700, 1,700, and 1,700. I get another round trip ticket for myself. I said, don't worry about it. I'll come get them.
She already had it made up in her mind that she didn't want.
Wait a minute. I'm going to tell you. I took leave. I get to the state. Boom, get a rental car. That's more money. I drive up, knock on the door. Hey, I'm here to get the children. This motherfucker tells me, after I done went through all of this, well, I'm not going to let them go unless I can come too. I'm standing at the door. I done came all the way, a 21-hour flight from Germany. I done flew all the way over there to get my children. After we agreed on this for past 6 months, 2 weeks before they fly, I get there a week before they supposed to fly out with me. You tell me that you're not gonna let them go because unless you can go too. So I said to her, I said, how you gonna go? Who gonna pay for it? Well, you can buy the ticket. I said, you crazy as fuck. I said, you crazy as fuck. I said, number one, even if I buy the ticket, where are you gonna stay? Because you can't stay with me. I said, so what is that gonna do? I'm just not gonna let them go. You could do whatever you want to do, but I'm not gonna let them go. That's enough. Not the money side. The emotional side is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah. That is enough for a man to want to pinch a bitch's head off her body to play with you like that. Yeah. Okay. So now, check it out. So now, I said, well, I'm here. Let me have my kids. I spent a week with my kids. I took them to me and my kids go to my mom and dad's house. They're all excited about the trip because this is the hurtful part. So now my children are crying and looking at me saying, why can't we go with you, Dad, for the summer? Why can't we go with you? So now how do you explain that after your kids are excited for 6 months out? Your kids are excited.
And then make it look like it's your fault when the whole time it's her emotional. Yeah.
Oh, it gets worse. So
make it look like you wasn't trying or you didn't. Yeah.
So it come time for me to go back, right? I only had that 7-day period. So I take them back to our house.
And I think Benny was trying to get on the panel. So this is how it became a full panel. General was talking about his story. And, he was talking about it, with the women, black women. That's his thing. That's his thing. Shouts out to the general. General's gonna be the general because this is very telling. He's a military guy, right? All three of these guys and Gino, I believe, all 4 of these men were military men, but they have the most longer experience. Him and the general, them 3 right here. He's got, I wouldn't say a longer experience, but it's like in between, like mid-tier experience, but he's I forget, he was an Army guard or something like that. I think Gino told me that. And these 2 guys were in the Navy. He's in the Army. So you got 2 Army guys. That'll be Gino and the general, and 2 Navy guys. But they share their experience. And the reason he tells his side of his experience, he says it a lot. I would love to see what he's gonna do with that war room. It'd be nice because it breaks down what I'm saying right now, because the direction that we're seeing what's going, everybody's got different beliefs of what they say and whatnot, but this stream was very telling. And the reason this was kind of like one of my favorite streams, that I've watched this so many times before I even invested in liking it, and I said to myself, this is one of those classics. And I saw this like probably 2 to 3 times. This is like my 4th time watching it, and I'm saying to myself what I said, and I hear myself how I was talking, even though I was using a different type of microphone at the time. I'm using my handhelds today, and I said to myself, I'm like, this shit is wild, man. Like, where people stand at. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is in so many words. But you see this a lot when we get in these conversations. So, you know, I already 2 hours in. So, you know, it's almost like 3 hours. So, you know, I can cut this in post or whatever. So, you know, I got this 2 hours and 34 minutes and 38 seconds. So, you know, because I'm just showing y'all what part 2 was about. And then, you know, and I think the general taught that piece. So, you know, he was making his point and everything. So I don't listen to what he says. I'm gonna go on mute for a minute. Hold on.
House. This bitch says to my children, I told y'all that he wasn't gonna do it.
I gotta support you, man.
Oh yeah.
And I think Charles came up. Charles came up. This is when Charles came up. So you already know with the Thundercats, I think he came up. So yeah, this is one of those epic classics. Him and Cyril, it's been a long time no see, and then old boy try to, you know, derail whatever. Yeah, he want to be seen. I'm just gonna skim through it. You know, I don't want to stay on this too long. Y'all can watch the rest, but you know, it's just point out what it was, and it was a classic. I'm not gonna lie. You know, old boy was like that. I didn't want to hear what he got to say. He get on my nerves, trying to nut ride and shit. Yeah, I ain't got time for that bullshit. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. And here's how I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it in the chat for y'all because what I'm saying is paste this. If y'all want to watch it, the rest or whatever, it was a great conversation. So, you know, I'm gonna take this off the screen. Yeah, me personally, what I thought it was an epic classic, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad or anything. It's just what it is. So you got individuals, you know, we was talking about this stuff for a while, and I think most people got to understand that the gist of what I was saying then goes back to what I've been saying the longest, and you got to understand that we was on that type of time. So, and that's just how it was. And you know, I'm gonna go back to my man's right here because we was just talking. So as we were saying, I was talking about my actual usual, and it turned the conversation like this. I know it led up to feminism, but that's the whole point of part 2, because part 2 was very telling what they were saying, but Dre was trying to keep it on topic as usual. Everybody was. It was one of those things that you had to expound on. So I'm not really mad at the conversation. I think it was one of those nights. It was going to be a classic, and I knew it was coming. This is when I was booming. And so I didn't really get mad about anything. So I think I enjoyed that conversation way more than people than they thought. So you got to understand something. And that's just what it is, man. You know, because I know we're 2 hours in. You know, I can cut it right now if I wanted to, but I gotta say something. But it is what it is. It's just what it is, and you gotta look at it. And I know people like to talk about shit all the time. So, yeah, man. Yeah. So I know what it is. I know what it is. So I'm not really going to just pull it out, but you know, but the whole purpose of that stream when it was shared, it was a classic, and I still had that screenshot, but I said, you know what? I already showed y'all early in the screen, but if y'all want to ask, I'll leave it up if anybody wants to come up or not. But all in the ones not coming up, okay, cool. Yeah, I guess I can delete it then, but I can always load it back up. So as we continue in closing and things like that, so yeah, people ain't gonna come through because I just showed a video and things like that because my internet kind of fucked up in the midway. Here we go. Here's the stream. If y'all want to watch it, watch the rest of it. It's a really like a classic, and it gets down to the nitty gritty of what's going on. So you see this a lot, and it gets like that in no time. So yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all, but this is one of those things that you see a lot that people talk about, and then I think one of those streams is like, yeah, it becomes a classic and everything else, but I had to talk about it. I had to talk about it. And I think one of the reasons that I understand what's going on is one of those streams that it's going to be like that all the time. It's 9 hours and I took time. And I'm not really mad because I think the one thing I love about that stream is we was very detailed in the conversation. Yeah, we talked about the nigga shit a little bit. We talked about the bullshit. And it was on par, but Wacky started it off, you know, and then it just built up from there. You know, when Kuda came through, yeah, it's on the heavy hitters list. Y'all can see in that as well. But it's one of them. And it became something. So, you know, because I think, yeah, I'll close it in, I think about 10 minutes from now. So it is what it is. And, you know, that's just what it is. And he's talking about the age thing. That's the key. When you're young, you expected to do some things. So for me, from now on, it's just, you got to look at it from that angle. So I'm not really surprised why people are panicking about the feds talking about them long term. So, you know what I'm saying? But that's what you have to have. You got to look at it that angle. So, yeah. I'm going to switch mics real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, so you see this a lot, and I think people are just upset what's going on. And I'm just like, over here, and, you know, so, like, you know, just got to get the gist of what we're saying. So, I mean, I enjoy this conversation and people in the chat earlier. And you just got to look at it for real quick. But I mean, the whole purpose of this stream is to reflect on what we did 5 months ago. And the reason I want to do a part 3 to this is because the conversation we had in part 2 was on point, and then we was trying to tell them niggas, man, you can't talk about one ideology. There's many ideologies to talk about. And then, I mean, feminism was the main contributor factor. And what made it so telling, these dudes was on that type of time. So, you know, but shouts out to the individuals that did came on that panel 5 months ago, and shouts to the people that came through the chat. It's just what it is. Like, I know it's a thing, and I know people trying to say censorship and all that. I ain't worried about censorship. I mean, people have been dealing with censorship for years. It's just now people don't want to hear that stuff. So, yeah, pre-recorded content is good. But now, as I tell you, certain people by association messing with you. But, you know, I do premieres myself. And I think I heard that today in the stream. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start doing them. But it depends. I'm thinking about doing that this summer. Drop a couple of them, like probably every Sunday. You'll see that I will do that as a topic. So I'll be gone and things like that. And I think I'll do that probably in July. I don't know about July. I'll think about July, because July I'll probably be gone. Because I'll tell you when I'm going to come back. I'll probably do a premiere that week. And then as a comeback, I'll probably do it I'll probably do that Friday. Because I'll be gone for the whole month. So, you know, just to be out there. Yeah, that whole summer is like a break for me. I just want a break from this shit. Tell you the difference. And get refreshed on the tail end in July, you know, things like that. Because in June, I'll do some content. I'll leave this shit and come back in July. So, you know what I'm saying? The summer's going to be crazy. It is going to be crazy. It's one of those things that once I come back, I'm going to get my shit started off and then be like, all right, we here. We here. It is what it is, because the summer's gonna be very, very interesting. I don't know what the summer's gonna be like. It's gonna be very, very interesting. So, you dudes and people, y'all need to chill out, because this year is gonna be very interesting. Because people's cooped up and everybody wants to, it's gonna be some blood spilled, in these streets and things like that, and people are emotional. Yeah, my internet works. It had to be my charger. It had to be my charger, because I think that was fucking my shit up. And it's gonna be 49 tonight. It's gonna drop. It ain't gonna drop as much. 25% chance. Okay, it's gonna be 80% chance this coming up Sunday. Yeah, I ain't gonna be that Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna be chilling. Oh wow, 60, 80%. Yeah, it's gonna be cloudy Monday. Wow, interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be warmer. It's gonna be warmer tomorrow. It's gonna be 3% chance. Sometimes the weatherman be lying. Yeah, man, it's like 10:56. We'll see what's going on. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it down real quick. I'll be back. I'm still here. It's just, I had to close my door for a minute. And one thing I could say about that stream, why it's a classic to me, is because you had all the guys that was detailed in their conversations. We're very detailed. And as you can tell, what we were saying, I was on topic, like subject. I was saying reference was, I didn't let it go off the rails. It was some nigga shit in the tail in between. We was throwing shots, that happens. But any other time, people would have had to link. If they had an issue with me then in December, I told them niggas that had problems with me back then, if they did, they had plenty of chance around this time. Actual content, I'd address you in another stream. But sometimes dudes are like that. But you got to understand, this is what YouTube is. This is my actual content. I do talk about political events, current events, and shit around the state I'm dealing with and everything else and the rest of the world. I pull up topics, what they're doing around the US, around the world, and have evidence. So I have to stick to my actual content, what I did, because I used it. And the reason I do these every Wednesday, this is it. See, the dark history stuff, I kind of killed that. Because a lot of times people don't want to hear that most of the time, because I already know what it was. And I done said enough, and I just keep it as that. It's cool to talk about, but 95% of the time is make you want to do more. Because that was good I would have had that in 2020. So I had to build my channel up and my resume based off that. So now the political stuff, it's necessary. Since they said this ain't no political channel, well, this can be a political, non-profit, activist channel. That's basically what it is. That's what my channel basically is. I stayed in that realm, and I use articles and things like that. I do research. I actually research this shit and read shit and just take it back and then put it out there, and that's it. See, when I do Sunday Madness, that's just talking about what's going on, like current events. It's basically current event talk, and it's a free-for-all topic. We can talk about various things. But when you talk about Thursday topics, what I do is the news, what's going on with the nigga shit. Oh, that's for Thursday. That's what Thursday Thrills is for. If niggas will be on some bullshit, shots is throwing, it's everything goes in up till Sunday Madness. So I'll come back on Mother's Day, and y'all gonna see what I'm gonna talk about. But I will be doing a segment tomorrow. It's gonna be an hour segment as usual. And yes, I got surprises, and niggas better be ready. So I've been watching. So don't y'all worry. Don't y'all worry. I got shots for days. And y'all gonna see the type of content I'm gonna bring, man. I'm telling you. Because next week, it's on. I'm gonna get some shots for y'all. Y'all gonna be crazy. Y'all will be tripping next week. Watch. Y'all gonna be tripping next week. Not next week, but 2 weeks from now. My fault. 2 weeks from now. Y'all gonna be tripping 2 weeks from now, because I'll come back the next week after. Yeah, y'all gonna get some shots. Because I'll be watching, and I ain't gonna say nothing. And I'll be gone for that week and come back on the 8th. So trying to get things going. But you know, but YouTube, it can be like that. I ain't trying to be on this thing all summer. Because my ass is gonna go outside, man. Like, yeah, it's looking good out here, and that's the beautiful thing. So yeah. But that's the thing that we talked about in politics, like, you know, what's going on in GA. So you got to talk about what's the name, Brian Kemp versus what's her name, Stacey Abrams, and this is going to be a classic election. It's similar to what you saw in the French election. Now we got to see who's pro this and pro that, and but then it's dealing with the city. I think she's dealing with the state where it's at. You know, so Democrats will take over. She'll win it based off the morale she's got. And people tired of Kemp because he's pro-Trump. So we already know what type of time GA's on. So yeah, this is, you know, everybody's gonna say, oh, the black women that took over GA. Don't be tripping. Don't be tripping. You niggas always want to complain about the opposite sex, but don't want to do nothing in context. But you can't blame everybody. You gotta blame yourself. And sometimes that's the goal. You gotta keep it very, very simple. That's the problem with individuals, man. They just want to argue all day. So yeah, we already know what time it is. So, you know, because I'm about to sign off. Appreciate you, Leticia, for coming through. I think he said Psycho. Appreciate you, man. Fongo, the painter known as Shango. Appreciate you, man, for stopping by, man. Salute, salute, salute. And we're gonna take you down. TC Killer in the building. T Church in the building. She, appreciate you, man. Lonzo, appreciate you. Matt, he said I'm on the interstate driving. Yeah, he's gonna watch the replay. Shouts out to Matt for coming through. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Because this is like, oh, Mike, my fault, Mike. What's going on, Mike? Yeah. Salute. Appreciate you coming through, Mike. Always supporting. So with that, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna finish what I've been doing. So I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5:30 on the news segment. Oh man, I got some instant shot. I'm gonna talk my ish. I don't know which type of microphone will I use. I'm very curious. I'm very curious what I'm gonna say. Oh, I'm very curious. Yeah, I might. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna use the same mic. Yeah, I'm gonna use for Thursday. My trusty mic. I will always use that. And then I'm gonna pre-record with this, so I'm on my interface now. Okay. All right, and let me get the fuck up out of here. All right. Shalom and peace. Have a blessed night, and I'm out.